Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network. The Sibling Showdown live drafts are back. We did a Playoff Best Ball live drafts last week. We'll talk about that, but we're back for Playoff Best Ball Returns, Second Chance, all the good stuff on both Underdog and Drafters. We'll get that started in just 1 minute.
Fanspeak, where the plan runs deep. The team grind hard, don't eat, don't sleep. From best ball dreams to DFS streaks, they help you print money every single week. No cap, no gimmicks, we breaking limits. NFL bets, yeah, we live this business. Meg and Steve, that OG vision. Draft room killers on a lifelong mission. More stress to the Sunday spread. Fan speaks, that voice that's inside your head. Best ball, DFS, NFL bets. They built it brick by brick, no regrets. Fanspeak team, printing money since day one. Fanspeak, forever.
That's right. Fanspeak forever. We again are doing Playoff Best Ball Returns drafts tonight. Talk about a little wild card, obviously recap to start. But Steve, how are you doing? Wild card weekend was epic for the first 4 games. Last 2, not so fun. But Patriots move on. We were rooting for Steelers. We'll get to our brackets in a minute. But I know I thoroughly enjoyed wild card weekend overall, and I'm really looking forward to divisional round. What are your thoughts before we really get into it here?
Yeah, no, I mean, we had, tremendous games for first 4 games, but even the last 2, at halftime, the Patriots were winning, I think 6-3, into the third quarter, it was like 7-6 Texans. Like these games looked and then it was 10-6. So I think maybe even at the start of the fourth quarter. So we're talking like very close, very good games for the majority of it. Patriots and Texans pulled away in the fourth quarter. So they didn't end up as epic as some of the other games. We just had tremendous comebacks. We had the Rams come back, big comeback. We had the Bears. I mean, so much to say about the Bears and what Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams did in that game. Absolutely fantastic. We had Josh Allen be Josh Allen, be Superman, and this is it showed that he is the best quarterback in the playoffs right now, and his experience I think came through because no moment was too big for him. And then Brock Purdy, they had a great first drive, but lose George Kittle soon after. And
So
you
sad.
think, okay,
I love George Kittle.
They're in Philly. Philly had come back. They had taken the lead. Like this is, there's no way they're going to come back, right? No Ricky P, no George Kittle. They just felt like they wouldn't be able to do it. But Purdy, despite a couple of bad interceptions, they had a great game plan. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, this is why he's such a great coach. What is the stat? And he still needs to win another one, but every time they've made the playoffs, they made the championship game.
Right.
And I know, he hasn't gotten the couple Super Bowl appearances, but hasn't gotten the Super Bowl win yet. But it just shows how good of a coach he is. And they'll have to do some work this week to keep that alive. But really great games all throughout and fun to watch.
It was I retweeted something from Underdog NFL, like where it was like the first 3 games, it was like 1 in the last 2 minutes, 1 in the last minute 30, 1 in the last minute, whatever it was, like just absolutely epic. And then that 49ers Eagles game was so entertaining down to the very last play. And the other 2 weren't as exciting, very defensive battles and not much offense really, but I still it shows that good defenses obviously earn their spots in the playoffs and postseason too. And so I think we have a lot of stuff to unpack because as you know, in playoff best ball, you're essentially trying to project who moves on each round. That's part of the game, and we'll get into that about advancing and what teams are live and that. Let me first say hi to the chat. That's most important, of course. Then actually look at our brackets first. I know we talked about this pre-show, how we were going to do this, and then kind of look at some of the teams that we have moving on, and then talk about this new formula of the returns and of course the cumulative format on drafters and the returns format on Underdog and the strategies for each, and get into live drafts. So we'll cover it all here, us essentially trying to predict the rest of the playoffs, which is important for these returns drafts. And then, the strategies for each and getting into hopefully a lot of live drafts. But we've got a usual amazing loyal crew in here. Mike, Rob, right on Meg time. I did pretty good. I was a minute or 2 late, but I was Meg time. You got me. Hand up. Got our guy Jamie. Hi everyone, good to see you.
I just have to say, because I see Who Heems is in here also, I was on, I think it was Saturday before the game started. I was, Who Heems doing a show and doing drafts, and that's when I was doing like 10 drafts at a time of the Underdog dailies.
Oh yeah.
But Who Heems played, Jamie did a song for him, and I just had to, I said it during Who Heems stream, but amazing job by Jamie, just fantastic job for.
Gee, that's that. Now I need to go listen back. Who Heems? I'm sorry I missed it. I will make sure to catch it, and I need to hear that. That is freaking awesome. And Jamie is the GOAT. Everybody in here is the GOAT. Mike Robb, Who Heems. But yeah, good to see you, Who Heems. That's awesome to see. Mike Robb says long sleeve shirt, business out the door now with Steve. It's winter,
I had to represent my Commanders, one of the few teams with an NFL coach right now.
I mean, that's another
that's a sign that we had a good year, right?
No, it's not. It's definitely not. But Steve's dressing for winter. Not usually does he though. This guy wears shorts in the winter all the time. He's bizarre. But no, it does feel like bizarre world to see you in a long sleeve shirt. I will say that for sure. Hellos all around. DJ Jamie, perfect. 2 songs.
Yeah, I only got to hear one. I need to hear the other one. So I look forward to it.
One's called Yabba Dabba Doo, which is my favorite. Okay, now I have to hear both. That's absolutely amazing. All right, well, now that we've come up with our loyal, faithful chat, and of course, we appreciate everybody watching, everyone chatting. If you're coming in, hit that like button. We certainly appreciate it. If you're watching over on Twitter, come over to YouTube. Say hi like these nice folks. If you're not some reason subscribed to Fanspeak Network, make sure you are subscribed. Hopefully we get over 1,000 by the BBM season so we can just rip a 24-hour marathon of drafts. But yeah, we are working, of course, climbing our way to 1,000 subs. So make sure you are subbed, bell on, because of course we talk about all the NFL postseason stuff. You know me, Steve, I'm not well, that there's only 7 NFL games left. I'm not well. Like, that's why I tried to enjoy Wild Card Weekend, because every week that goes on, it's like, oh my God, now we only have 7 games left, then 3 games left. It's hard. I do not do well in non-football season. I'm going to try to even get in more like to the golf streets and, watch more of that, because that's what I enjoy most. But, and then of course we'll be right back into best ball season. So we have plenty of content on our Substack, link in the description, sending things every single day for Underdog Dailies, DFS, and of course, NFL bets. And then now we're doing obviously playoff best ball now, but it'll be big board season probably in a week or 2, and we will be ready. So make sure you check out our Substack if you haven't already. All right, Steve, now that we've covered that business, let's take a look at our brackets from last week. You were even more right than I was. I was pretty proud of myself. I think I was 4-2. So we'll throw up my graphic first. So got the winner right of the Bears, the Rams, and the 49ers. So I nailed the NFC. Didn't do so well in the AFC. I got it right with the Patriots, but I was wrong on the Bills, Jaguars, and I was wrong on the Texans, Steelers. So was pretty proud of myself overall. That does help as you're trying to project out, because the more you get right for your essentially predicting brackets, the more potential for live teams you have, right? And so I pretty much drafted this way. Obviously, Steelers were pretty free late, so that hurts less than the Jaguars. But Jaguars weren't uber expensive since Lawrence was going a little later and they were going later, So, but still a bummer that I didn't get those 2 because I did feel confident in those. Steve, on the other hand, goes 5-1, only one he missed. And if the Steelers had any offense, you would have swept the board, and I would have gone 5-1 because Stroud was not it. Yes, I mean, he made 3 or 4 turnovers. Like it's their defense that obviously won that game, and their defense is elite and deserves all the credit in the world. But Steve nailed the NFC too. Bears, Rams, 49ers. Love the 49ers knocked the Eagles out, by the way. Very sad about the George Kittle injury, one of my favorite players in the NFL. And he nails Patriots. And he nails the Bills, so he was right there, and I was definitely wrong. So now we have the Patriots-Broncos matchup with the Bills seed moving on, and then the only one he got wrong was the Steelers. And again, had Steelers had any offense, sliding doors of life, always crazy, sliding doors of sports. If they would have connected on any of those deep shots, the DK Metcalf drop, the Calvin Austin, whatever, kicked out, and I lost a parlay on that, by the way. I think there was a pass interference that I think should have been called on Austin. Definitely tough, but they had no offense, and Texans defense was just elite. So that was your only miss, Steve. Kudos to you. Let's try to do it again. But before we try to do it again, any thoughts on our brackets and then what that kind of, led us to?
Yeah, I mean, this is what I thought all along. But I said I really thought the Bills Jags game was going to be a great game. That one I was confident in through it, no matter what. And I really think whoever came out of that game to me is like the favorite in the AFC. Um, had it been the Jaguars, I think that would have made, you know, one then the Broncos are playing would be the Texans, or it would have been the Steelers. It wouldn't have mattered. Patriots, Jags would have met up. And so I could have seen that game going either way, and then probably I would have predicted the Broncos over Patriot or Steelers, Texans. So, but yeah, I think the Bills. We saw it, and I know they just lost Shavers and Gabe Davis as well, so they're actually going to have to throw the ball to Keon Coleman going forward. But and Williams and I, in this chat we're talking about it. Like Brandon Cooks, he's actually legit. And, I think Josh Allen is just playing at an elite level. And going forward, Broncos are a tough defense also, but you can run on them a bit more. So James Cook becomes more alive. And so that was my whole thesis, why I predicted the Bills going forward. And particularly if they do get the Rams versus, say, Seattle, because I think Seattle is a really good run defense. But if they were to advance, whoever they play in the Super Bowl is going to have a far worse run defense than the Jaguars had, particularly if it's Rams. Anyone but Seattle. Seattle is almost as good as the Jags, in my opinion. And I just think the Bills are actually set up really well down the stretch.
You truly still believe that the Bills can get over the Broncos defense here?
Yeah, because I think the Broncos defense is good, but I think the Bills, there's not going to be a weather advantage playing in Denver. I don't care how cold it is. And I think the Bills, Bo Nix is good. I think he's a good young quarterback. We should give him a lot of credit. He's advanced to the playoffs twice, had the number 1 seed in 2 years. I mean, that's very impressive.
No, that is incredibly impressive.
But he's also shown himself to be streaky. I mean, he had to, games against the Raiders and others where he looked terrible this year. So, if you get the best of Bo Nix, maybe he could, match Allen. But if you don't, I just think Allen is just so good. I mean, Jaguars defense is very legit, and Allen just absolutely, as that game wore on, he was picture perfect.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the Bills have one of the weaker teams, outside of James Cook and Josh Allen. Like, I do think there's holes in their defense, and I do think obviously their other skill positions are, weak. And Keon Coleman, he didn't have a touchdown. He had like a long catch, right? Or did he?
I can't even remember how much he did. I'm just saying, like, going forward,
he's going to have to step up. I mean, their skill players are just wow. I mean, he truly has to put on the Superman cape. But let me say hi to chat, and now let's do that, because again, to go back into these returns drafts, especially on Underdog Returns, you really need to nail that Final Four, and we'll talk about that in advance rates. And then you really need to, obviously cover yourself for a Super Bowl matchup. So it is important to do that. So let me. I mean, I am sleeping on Brandon Cooks. That is true. And hey, listen, I had someone mentioned parlay with him. Was able to ladder him up, so that was fun as well. But yes, definitely need to check out the Who Hames song. He told us where. Hulk Mashed Potatoes in here. Great to see you. Hey, great to see Hulk in chat. And Who Hames says won $800 on pick'ems by scaling up Cooks. Yeah, I laddered him up, had him in something, but I do think I got a live one with Brandon Cooks as part of it. I think I did like a low lines Bills one, but not 800. So 800 on pick'ems, so scaling Cook up. And I know you had a massive hit, needing that Herbert rushing. We were rooting you on. Love to see that get home, Who Hames. And Who Hames I just saw in our Discord, which, by the way, join the Discord. We'll probably just start putting it out on Twitter, but definitely join the Substack, link in the description, but also join the Discord. Get involved. There's really, really good conversations in here with basically everybody you're seeing here in chat, which is super, super helpful. Like Coolers is giving his breakdown. Who Hames is sharing pick'ems. Everybody, Mike Robb, all these people that you see in chat are giving really, really good information. So highly recommend join our Discord. That's going to be our mission here as we start the new year, to grow that Discord, grow our Substack, and of course, grow our YouTube. So, but we were rooting you on, Who Hames. Love to see that. We got Jay Lives in here. Good evening. What a great football weekend. It was absolutely epic. I agree. And we are hoping we get another one here because then we'll just be down to 2 games. But hopefully these 4, this divisional round, give us really good stuff as well. Yeah, I shouldn't be sleeping on Brandon Cooks when I made a comment. That was rude. We got our guy Brett in here. What's up, Shout fam? Let's get Shout Duel in the return finals. Rooting for you both as always. That's awesome, Brett. I don't know, maybe Steve, maybe for the mitten, for the gauntlet. So Brett, Steve and I have a gauntlet team. That's what we should talk about next, Steve. What's moving on, right? Steve and I did a show last week, the Playoff Best Ball show about a week ago, and we're moving on a gauntlet. It feels a little thin, but it's live. It is absolutely live, has 6 players, and if it's a Chicago Patriots Super Bowl, we are live. So, Steve, are you as excited as me about our gauntlet?
No, it's fun to get one through. Like in the name, it is a gauntlet, and I think it's very live. Chicago Patriots, like you said,
2 second-year quarterbacks. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, Chicago. Look, I do not want to.
They're feisty.
Yeah, I don't want to be anyone playing them. I think the Rams can win, but I would not want to be playing Chicago right now in Chicago. I think this week, getting that 2 seed was so huge for them.
I don't know if
Washington helped out.
Yeah, that is true. I'm not sure if Legion is in chat or not, or if he's watching, but he messaged us in Discord and was like, if it had to be somebody else, I'm glad it's you, which was very, very kind. So this is what we were moving on. So again, we did this draft last week on this very Sibling Showdown live drafts together, gauntlet. And remember, Steve, we had a Christian McCaffrey, as you can see, George Kittle, RIP. I love George Kittle so much. And then we were building out this Purdy snap, got sniped, not Legion, but somebody else. And so we pivoted to Trevor Lawrence, Caleb Williams. So we have Trevor Lawrence, Caleb Williams, Christian McCaffrey. So in case you're wondering why we have McCaffrey and Kittle, we did get sniped on Purdy. Christian McCaffrey, Travion Henderson, Kyle Monangai, George Kittle, Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington, Colston Loveland, Kyle Williams. So this must have been more my influence, thinking the Jaguars are going to move on because we we
remember going through this.
Yes.
Because we talked about Patriots, but May didn't come back. Then Purdy got sniped, and it was like, okay, let's just pivot to Jacksonville and Chicago as our quarterback stacks.
Yeah. So again, we now have Caleb, McCaffrey, Henderson, Monangai, and Kittle, because of injury, not Kittle because of injury, and just Colston Love and Kyle Williams. So that feels pretty thin there. And
just one point.
We could just dominate with Christian McCaffrey, Travion Henderson. I don't know.
And here's a point I want to make. Like, you would think, oh, you have McCaffrey and Henderson. Like, do you need a third running back? We get Kyle Monangai. He's got more points than Henderson. He counts for us. We take Jacoby Myers. Do you need another Jaguars receiver? We take Parker Washington. He is the only reason we're moving on. You know what I mean? Without a 20-point game there, I don't think we're moving on, right? So
this team's, because obviously, Love and Allen were the top quarterbacks. We had 24 from Caleb, but it was the 26-point McCaffrey score, the 20-point Parker Washington, and the 19-point Loveland score that really helped us advance this one. So it's live, feels a little thin, especially at the receiver position, and we'd be rooting on a Patriots Bears Super Bowl if we could continue to move on, but it's exciting nonetheless. You and I had a 3rd place team as well, but that doesn't matter. I'm moving on, I believe, out of 40 some drafts, 6 total. I had a couple little mittens on my own. Let's see, is this one live? So Purdy's, CMC, Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pierce also. If it was Patriots, Patriots or Denver. Yep. So that's live. I was going through this, but I couldn't remember what was what. Matthew Stafford, this should be live with Devontae, and I got Parkinson. Yeah. So Rams Patriots is live there. And then this one, nice big score. It looks like 49ers Patriots probably for this one. Yeah, lost Parker Washington. And sometimes you say, well, why would you grab, when you built out a 49ers stack, why would you grab Colston Loveland? Well, it's a good thing I did, because this team wouldn't have moved on without it. It would happen.
They won't meet till the
Right. And that's another nice thing about that. They wouldn't meet till you and I have a team that we didn't do on stream, but we did do together. That's moving on in the mitten, a big Josh Allen stack, because we wanted to cover like both of what we were predicting, which was very similar. Really, the Bills, Jags were the only thing that was different.
Really good.
So this team is really strong. Big old Bills stack. Coming back, there are some eliminated players, but coming back with Bears, obviously Christian Watson is gone. We liked him for an advance rate piece, but Bears in Seattle. So that feels really nice.
Yeah.
And I got one other mitten through on my own. Patriots.
There's a Rams. I think Kobe Parkinson was on that team also. So
okay, nice.
Rams,
so Bills, Rams, Bills, Seattle, or Bills. Yeah.
Fair.
So this was one of mine I did on my own. One of the few I didn't do a lot of Barkley because I was really big on the 49ers, but it was one where I was like, okay, it's some, sometimes the cheaper ones is where I hedge a little bit. Did run it back with Barkley, lost that, but so May, Stevenson, Diggs, Henry. I don't know why I drafted McConkey. Maybe I thought that was going to be an advanced rate piece, but it could either be obviously Patriots or Chicago did have a couple Eagles. So I don't feel as good about that team, but glad that I have a couple with you. Glad that I have a couple live teams that moved on of my 40. Again, I have 6. So happy about that. But now and you did less because you want to do more now in the returns.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important to talk about what we think is going to happen from here. Let me catch up with chat again, appreciate Brett being in here. Always love what the Underdog team is putting out. But he says live is all you can ask for. Good luck. And he is absolutely right. That is absolutely all you can ask for. It was absolutely a nice week for the Who. So Mike Robb provides more than just good jokes, people, but he does provide good jokes as well. We got Gamblestein in here. What is going on? We've got Lolsimo in here. Good to see you guys as well. I click 49ers in the poll because Broncos are now the favorites. Oh, okay. Yeah, I said, which underdog do you think is moving on? And kind of a projection on that. Yeah, Gamblestein had a big hit. Again, share the wins, share the losses. I had a sweat that did not get there. I bet 3 of the underdogs. And then I bet them I love an anti-correlated parlay. So I bet them with it was like Bears money line, Jordan Love over passing. It was, Saquon Barkley 100 plus rush receiving, 49ers money line. I needed 70 Nico, Steelers money line. Didn't get either of those, but you share your wins, you share your losses. Campbellstein had a nice win betting Caleb most passing yards with a nice big hit on that. So congratulations to you on that. Oh, that's a great point. BBMDB is a good place to look that up and see. Let me see that's basically it for me, but just a shout out to Diablo and BBMD, obviously amazing work that he does over there. You can, like Cooler said, and by the way, hello, Coolers. We always love it. He joined Andrew and Justin last week. He's just so sharp. He and Hugh are just crushing the dailies game. But love to see and hear Coolers. Yeah, it's nice that you can check out what you got by tournament, but then you can also check out what you got. So I did 5 gauntlets, advancing the one with Steve. And then you can check out what you got by portfolio. So this is really nice and will be nice as things move on too. Okay, yeah, 6 out of 32. I don't know why I said 40. And so, yeah, the 1 gauntlet, 2 mittens, 2s, and 3 little mitten. Most live, some lot more live than others. But now we turn our attention to the returns, and let's talk about the advance rate first. I think, Steve, is important to talk about because that will help us then talking about these brackets. Let me say hi to Kelly is in here. Should have known about the Eagles. I just didn't trust the Kevin Petula, which I thought he got fired, but Steve said it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like
not officially. He's definitely
not officially, but he's not the offensive coordinator. It's like every other year they had Steichen, amazing. They go to Super Bowl, then have a dud year, offensive coordinator. Then they get Kellen Moore, amazing, go to Super Bowl. And then they become head coaches, and then they just can't replace them the next year. So are they going to get Mike McDaniel now and go back to the Super Bowl? Because that would be the pattern. But yeah, good to see you in here, Kelly, as well. And a big congrats to Gamblestein. So Steve, now let's talk advance rate on the mitten and gauntlet returns, because that is very important as you're doing these drafts, right? Let me bring that over here. So we are looking NFL, of course. And of course, all the dailies are out. Andrew and Justin will be live, I believe, tomorrow at 9:30. So check out that. And then I don't think Steve and I have a busy week this week. So we'll probably just be back maybe Friday night with DJ and Dazzle to figure that out. But definitely check out the dailies are full here too. But now let's talk the Gauntlet Mitten Returns. And of course, there's bigger Mitten Returns. So I'm going to stay in my my income bracket here and just stick with the Mitten and Gauntlet. So $25 Gauntlet Returns. And where is it here? Okay, so in the divisional round, 1 of 4. So that's nice. But then so I didn't even realize that, Steve, that the pod is 4. So there's 8 quarterbacks playing. So we'll get into this a little bit more in a minute. But if you want to take 2 quarterbacks, it's not like you have to rush to do that necessarily, or we'll see how the rooms play out and how the rankings look. But 1 of 4. Okay, so not as gauntlet-y, but gets really gauntlet-y with 1 of 10 in the conference championship and then a big final. So to me, and we're going to get into projecting, our new brackets essentially. To me, you really have to nail the final 4 because this is going to be much easier to get through this weekend as opposed to conference championship. And if you're missing a ton of players conference championship week, or essentially have a dead team, then you're certainly not moving on to the finals. So I really think you want to put your focus into building out that final 4 teams, and it's surely enough being more than covered for Super Bowl because that's a big final, 560, but nice flat payout, $50K top prize, flat payout, 5,000 to 10th, top 30 get 4 figures. That's nice. And then it's 560, so 200 to make the finals and 560. So I really, really, really think you want to make your brackets and say this is who I think is moving on, or at least again tell a story in each draft, so that you make sure you're not like divvying it up too much. Really trying to build out for whatever draft that particular draft is. That draft is kind of like your final 4, and certainly definitely covers you for the Super Bowl. Any final thoughts on that, Steve? Because the Mitten Returns is very similar. Obviously small because it's a $5 entry, smaller total prize pool with 10,000 to first, but nice flat payout, 1,000 to 10th. But still, 1 of 4 in your pod, and then 1 of 12. So, hard, and then 459 seat final. So again, you're wanting to build for that final 4, you're wanting to build for the Super Bowl. And so you make the finals, you get 50, but it can be all the way up to 10K, but a nice flat payout throughout. Yeah. With it being very, a 1 of 4 pod, but then 1 of 10, 1 of 12, and then bigger finals. Is that kind of how you essentially think this through? Is I want to build out for the final 4 and I want to build out, a solid Super Bowl team?
Yeah, no, I think that is absolutely the way to approach it. I think as we talked about with the Gauntlet last week, the 1 of 6 versus the 2 of 6 of the Mittens. Yeah. I was more, inclined to just do the 1 quarterback in the Mittens, less if I was taking a bye week team for a Gauntlet, I'm maxing at 3. In the Mitten, I'd feel more comfortable going for Denver, for Seattle. I didn't do that personally, but that's what I recommended. Here, we don't have to worry about the bye week. But what I really think, ideally, I think you're taking 2 quarterbacks, ideally 1 from each conference, and you're building that out. Yep. So at least you have 2 in, not just this week of the 1 of 4, but next week, whether it's the 1 of 10, 1 of 12, roughly the same. Mm-hmm.
And then I think that's going to be key to have 2 quarterbacks next week to advance to finals. And then perfect world, you nail the 2 Super Bowl quarterbacks. Yeah.
And so, if you absolutely have to, you could do 1, but you can't do multiple of guys playing each other this week. If it just like there's such a big fall on somebody and you really need more running back help and both hard, you're building out a bill stack, but Harvey's there, then okay, but I just wouldn't. I don't like that. I think you need to make your stands on bets,
tell your stories.
Whether it's Bills, Patriots are going to be in the next round, and Rams, Seattle, 40. You're building. Pick your 4 teams for each draft, and it really depends on what you start with, essentially. But pick your 4 teams that you're targeting for next week, and load up on those teams. And yes, have enough where ideally you combo it and you could have three AFC, three NFC of your with the quarterback, like a quarterback, running back, and a receiver, and then 2 the other way. That way,
Yeah.
if you are right with those 4 teams, you and one of your quarterbacks make the Super Bowl, you're guaranteed to have a Super Bowl lineup. That's the best way.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Mine says nuts on the table, Steve. Just say it. No, I agree. And I think that's why it's important to talk about. Now we'll look at rankings, and then let's build a playoff bracket before we jump into the actual draft. But I really like, how you explained it and how you're thinking through that build. And I'll say, well, we'll get to it. And when we do our brackets, there's only one team I'm basically fading. It didn't work this week, but I think it'll work this coming week. Okay. So here's the rankings, just looking at the top couple rounds. Obviously right now it ADP by ADP, Puka, JSN, Josh Allen, Christian McCaffrey, James Cook, Drake May, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, and then, quarterbacks, to your point of needing 2, because remember, these are 4-person pods. So you've got in the, you have 4 in the top 10. That's not, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the top 10, 5 in the top 12. Not surprising, because that's kind of alluding to what you're saying. And I think that is the smart way to play it. Devontae, Kyron Williams, Matthew Stafford, Sam Darnold, Steph Diggs, Bo Nix, Harvey, Shakir, Kenneth Walker, Nico, who got to see what's going on there, Ramondre Charbonnet, and then Caleb at 19, Swift at 20. I'll stop there. Any surprises to you? Anything you think you'll lean on more than others?
Well, I'll say from a quarterback standpoint, I do think Caleb is a great value. We've just seen his upside. He has a little rushing upside, maybe not as much as Allen or May, but it's pretty damn close. And the Bears are a fun offense. So, yes.
That 4th down jump pass, you and I talked about this, obviously off show, just in IRL. That 4th down jump pass, like if the Bears do, like you said it perfectly, if the Bears do go to the Super Bowl, that will be iconically talked about in Chicago for decades to come. Like you're going to, that was insane.
And I do know
that's why he went 1st overall.
Yeah, I do know they lost their left tackle, Ozzie Tripolio. But, with these rookies stepping up like Burden, Monangai, but mainly Loveland, and then Odunze being back, Swift out of the backfield, obviously DJ Moore, also Cole Kmet can still move the chains. They are a deep team with weapons. Like unlike, Patriots and Bills who lack weapons, like the Bears are have a plenty of weapons. So also very easy to stack up. And so I will say Bears, I think, are a good value. Yes, they are, like it's not going to be easy this week. Or if they advance, it won't be easy or they play.
Right.
But it is, I think they are a fun team for sure. And we know this offense has a lot of upside.
I don't know about you. Well, again, I keep jumping the gun here. I'll get to the playoff bracket because I'll bring that up. Let me catch up with the table first. It's weirdly, Meg still has the Steelers winning this week. Mike Tomlin, obviously, shout out to him. What an amazing run with the Steelers. I know Tyler's, a lot of Steelers fans are happy, but I read a stat today. In 309 games, only 1 game did he play where it meant nothing, where they were eliminated. That is wild. I mean, Steve and I have rooted for Washington where most games we watch most seasons besides last season, they've been eliminated by Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so Washington had 5 games this year where they were eliminated. I'm pretty sure. So
it's like that is beyond wild. But yeah, I'm a secret Yinzer. No, Steve and I, our parents are from Western PA. I went to school in Western PA. It's Kurt Cignetti, Indiana coach. And if he goes to Pittsburgh, I'll be pissed because that is just an embarrassment of riches. But no, rooting for Indiana coach Kurt Cignetti, who did coach at my alma mater, IUP. But yeah, that did not work. My Steelers play did not work. I agree with Hames. I would be shocked if Nico plays. That looked really bad considering he went off on a cart. Didn't even get to the tent. I mean, that looked bad. So thinking about him. That 4th down pass was just beautiful. Kelly, absolutely agree. It was like iconic. Did you see like the meme where it's like, it literally looked like a Michael Jordan. It like mimicked a Michael Jordan thing. The Chicago fans should be very, very excited. And Gamblestein says it's all in front of the Patriots now. I agree. And let's get to it, Steve. Let's talk brackets. I'm going to bring over what I used to build our playoff brackets last time. we can now build it from here of what is real. I put in who won. So obviously we have Broncos, Bills, we have Texans, Patriots on the AFC side, 49ers at Seahawks, and Rams at Bears on the NFC side. So we can each do our own. I think we're probably going to be mostly aligned. And I think we could talk this through first, and then we could each like either build a joint one or our own. But for me personally, I'll just step right up instead of asking my brother first. I want to have access to all the teams but the Texans. I don't think Nico plays this week, so I think that could be a potentially dead rot, even if he's going really late. I'll have to see on the ADP, but I don't think he plays, and I don't think they win. I don't think that defense is insane, absolutely insane. Can they win? Sure. But if Stroud plays anywhere like he did this game, he would have to play lights out. And as we saw, that Patriots defense is no joke either. I understand the Chargers offensive line is very, very, very banged up, but the Patriots defense is no joke. I am fading the Texans. I want to have access to all 7 other teams. I think you can make a case for all 7 others. Obviously, we want to make some stands of where we have more access to, but I think you could make a case for all 7. That's how I am playing it. We will get through and try to break out the rest of this bracket. How do you see it as we sit here and look at the bracket?
Yeah, so very, very similar in that regard. I will have very little Texans and probably no Stroud, because I don't think Stroud has the opportunity to just match with these quarterbacks. I know he's got a couple like 30-point games.
Especially with no Nico.
He has, but yeah, with no Nico, just the Patriots defense is good. I know Christian Gonzalez got banged up, but I think he's
is there any report on that?
I honestly haven't looked, but I think he's definitely much more likely to play than Nico. But just in general, it's in New England. Houston is an indoor team. I know Pittsburgh was cold the other night, but if New England could be colder, I don't know if there's any weather. I've not looked.
Yeah.
But just in general, Houston, a southern indoor team playing, mid-January in New England, I don't think historically has gone well. And I think Vrabel and May are a great team. So what I would only do is, how I typically said, like take 3 from one team and 2 the other. What I would maybe do is like a Bills Broncos 4-man stack from that side. And if I'm, there's just no like Patriots that are lining up for me, I'll take a late Jaden Higgins, or I'll take a late Woody Marks, just because they could be an advancement piece, like they were, like Woody Marks was an advancement piece this past week. Like he was, I think, RB3 maybe. I would consider that just because you can get them late. But yeah, 0 Stroud, just because I don't think having him as a second quarterback to me doesn't do anything for you. If you're maxing 150, okay, yeah, play it some. But
sure.
I just can't. The way I look at this bracket, I think New England is very likely to win. I still think the Bills are more likely to win. I will have Broncos stacks just because Broncos are at home. They were 1 seed for a reason. They have a great defense as well. If they get a big turnover or something like that, that game could change. And from the NFC side, I still think Seattle, especially with now no Kittle. I will say to me, the other game is much more of a toss-up.
I find that game to be, and that is the last game on Sunday evening, right? I believe Sunday at 6. Yeah. Is the Rams Bears. I think, and I don't know if Bruni is in chat or not, I haven't seen him yet, but rooting for Kicks and Bruni and all the Bears fans out there. I think Rams are, the better team. But you can't count this Bears team out at home. Yeah. I just don't think you can count this Bears team out at home. So
especially them being at home. Yeah.
I'm pretty much with you. For most of it. For me, and how about we each do our own here in a minute? Let me catch up with chat because there was a couple good. J Live said any revisionist bracket. Oh, there you go. Yeah, let's each do our own right now, and then we're talking through the drafts. You understand why we're leaning in certain ones. I personally am probably only going to do 20 of the returns, so I'm I'm just going to fade the Texans. But if that bites me, it bites me. I was wrong on the Steelers. It can happen. Hulk Mashed Potato says, who needs Nico when you had Kirk? I mean, he did like nothing all season and goes off for like 140, whatever. I know you don't think like Woody Marks is that great of a running back, and he just exploded against the Steelers defense. So that was wild. Coolers agrees with the whole, and and others agreeing with the whole Stroud situation. 40.5 point total, non-rushing QB, lots of factors working against the ceiling for Stroud. I mean, Gamblestein, you're our hero here. Listening to this in a poker room, and someone just spilled a drink on me. Love that you're listening to this in a poker room. Thank you for that. Shout out to Gamblestein. Sorry that somebody spilled a drink on you, but good luck. Yeah, unless it's good luck, but good luck in poker tonight. Hutchinson will be on the field more, which means more failed drives. Yeah, Adam Levitan from ETR tweeted the snap counts and the routes run for the Texans, and the two rookies are just not getting kind of the snaps you would think this time of year. So very, very, that's kind of wild. J Live says, I'm kind of tilting the 1 seeds because of the effort last week's teams gave. Okay, so tilting to the 1 seeds. Okay, got it. Okay, that makes sense. All right, Steve, let's do this together. So I think you and I are both saying we think the Patriots move on. We're in a lockstep there, right? Yep. This is where I think I'm more with you, but I can build a case for the Broncos,
sure.
Right?
I mean, I can as well, but I think the Bills. Josh Allen is Josh Allen, and I think he is going to be tough. He's going to be a tough out.
Yeah. So for me, no Texans for me, lots of Patriots for me. I lean with you here. So we'll move the Bills on to meet in the AFC Conference Championship, but I do want some Broncos. This isn't a, fade the Texans for me. I am going to have some Broncos. Let's go over to the NFC side. I think this is more of a toss-up. I don't think we agree on the first one. Maybe my fandom, I feel like I'm a secret 49ers fan too, because I absolutely love Christian. Not so secret. Love Christian McCaffrey, love George Kittle, love the Shanahans. Wish Washington could have kept him, but no, they chose RG3 instead. All the Shanahan and McVay coaching tree that just blossomed could have been in Washington. No. So here's what you talked about, the Kyle Shanahan. He goes to the playoffs, he goes to the NFC Championship. I just think there is a coaching edge here. I understand it's in Seattle. I understand that defense is elite, and we've seen what elite defenses can do already in the postseason. However, I do think even without Kittle, and that is a massive, massive loss, I think they are, I've seen a lot of post-game interviews since I'm such a big Kittle fan, and they are like, we're playing for Kittle. He's the heart and soul of this team. I do think that is emotional too. They have played through so much adversity, and it kind of prepares them for moments like this. I mean, this isn't their first rodeo of like next man up situation. So you've got Christian McCaffrey, number one. And Charbonnet Walker are a tandem themselves, but you got Christian McCaffrey. Brock Purdy is, played well against the Eagles. I know he had a couple, what do you have? One interception or two? He did have 2 interceptions, but played well given the defense he was playing lights out before this very matchup. But when you see a team 3 times, and we saw this with, Green Bay and Bears. Green Bay takes the first one, Bears gets the second one in overtime, Bears come back for the third one at home. We see 3 teams, and 49ers and Seahawks have split too. So one was the very beginning of the season, one was the very end of the season. Now they meet here in the divisional round. I lean 49ers here. I think, again, coaching advantage, experience advantage, adversity, to push them through. And just, the Christian McCaffrey effect. But I understand, elite defense on the Seattle side, not as much on 49ers, but I do think Saleh has that defense stepping up more than, any of us would have guessed. So for all those reasons, I like the 49ers more, but I absolutely want to have exposure to the Seahawks. Build your case for the Seahawks, or are you going to just kind of split this down the middle with these two?
I mean, I will definitely have 49ers stacks through, whether I do 10, 20, 40 teams, doesn't matter. I want some 49ers stacks through. Particularly from, you're getting Christian McCaffrey, take Christian McCaffrey. Dude is just can dominate. And even if it's just to advance you this week and next week, and they get knocked off by Bears or Rams, it could be well worth it to still take Christian McCaffrey, even if he's not in the Super Bowl for you.
Right.
But my case for Seattle is this. This is actually the last team Seattle played was the 49ers. But they're at home. They definitely have a home field advantage. And 2, they are pretty damn healthy on offense and defense. And they're deeper. Like, they're deeper than they were early in the year when they didn't have Rashid Shaheed. And I think, and like AJ Barner hadn't been a thing yet. Some of those things, like the way I look at it is their coaching is pretty good. Also, they're Mike McDonald is definitely an excellent coach. What a job he's done with Seattle these last 2 years, and they also are from the Shanahan tree, also with Kubiak. Who is the Kubiak family has been tied to the Shanahan family for 40 years. So I think their coaching is good. I look at it quarterback wise, I'd give a slight edge to Purdy, but him and Darnold has a bigger arm. Purdy is generally a bit more accurate, but they both have the ability to have a bad turnover here or there. The difference is the Seattle defense is going to be pressing it more. Their pressure is better. Their secondary is next to elite. And they have a run defense that can bottle up McCaffrey a little bit, which is worrisome. So that's my thing, is their defense is just too good. I think it's close, and I could see it being higher scoring than week 18 was. But I just think Seattle, they're healthy, they're deeper. They have 2 running backs. They have, more talented receivers overall. Even if Pearsall plays, like the receiver edge, they now have the tight end edge, Barner versus Tonjes. Their offensive line is probably healthier. Their defense is just massively better. So, yes, McCaffrey is an X factor, but and I give an edge to Shanahan, but I actually think Seattle's a very well coached team.
No, I do believe that too. Let me get to chat, some good comments in chat. Then we'll finish building out this bracket, and then we will get to Underdog, both Mitten and Guantlet Returns drafts first before we then go over to drafters. We got our guy Hartman in here. Yo, great to see you, Hartman. Hopefully your playoff best ball is going well. Sia Najad, who has been a mentor to me, absolutely awesome. I'm blessed enough to do shows with him on Fantasy Football Today, and today I was on with Early Edge, Steve. So segue, I talked on Early Edge about how I liked McCaffrey receiving over on Early Edge, because when Kittle is out, they step him up. He has averaged 68 yards per game in the 6 games without Kittle, and both the times his line's around, I want to say 44 and a half, probably moving up as we speak. But every time that in the 2 games Kittle exited, he also went over that line, including 73 yards in week 1. Kittle went out. So thank you, Steve, for joining us. Thank you for hitting that like button. We appreciate you. Good points by Coolers here. The prices are steep relative to the odds for the 49ers to move on, but agree, you have to do it if you're playing volume. For instance, CMC is the highest ADP with the worst odds to make the Super Bowl. So I totally agree what you're saying there. Bears, Gambelstein from the poker room, Bears defense is doo-doo. Absolutely can't disagree with you. There they are, can get turnovers and be very timely, but if they don't, they definitely, you can rack up points against them. So that's another one we'll talk about. He hit the Caleb most passing yards this week. He said, I'll probably bet Stafford for most passing yards this weekend. And Huaim says, by the way, drafters second chance still have to draft a tight end, but only 10 roster spots. Okay, that's a great call out and something we'll get to here after we do all the Underdog stuff. Gamblesy, not great odds, 250 may still be a value. Okay, so for Steve, it sounds like you're doing way more Seattle stacks, but you still want access to the 49ers. I'm doing way more 49ers stacks, but I still want access to Seattle. So we'll say this is Steve's bracket for right now. What do you have? This game, to me, I lean Rams, but it absolutely would not shock me if Caleb and the Bears pull it off. So how are you playing this similar, where you want more Ram stacks, but you see the Bears, you still want some Bears stacks? Yeah.
So I will say this has now become like a coin flip to me. These are just loose, but I'd say, I'm like 75, 80% Patriots, Texans. I'm like 60-40 Bills over Broncos, and roughly about the same Seahawks over 49ers. This is a true coin flip. I think it's 50-50. I probably, if I ideally could, and it's easier said than done, have half Ram stacks, half Bear stacks, like pieces of, whether it's 2 or 3 from those teams. I will lean what I said early in the year, and I will go experience here. They are on the road, but McVay, Stafford just have so much more experience. Plus Devontae Adams has plenty of experience in his own right in these big situations. And I do think the Rams defense is better. The Bears defense, though they were able to get there and shut down the Packers in the second half without a turnover, they generally need turnovers. And if that were not to happen, I think they'd be in more trouble this week. I will say the Rams special teams has been a struggle this year. That could be a factor. Where Bears have had some big returns and done some nice things there. So that could be an X factor that, we're just generally not relying on. But to me, the Rams are the better all-around built team. But I truly kind of look at this as a coin flip, but I would take Rams here.
Okay. And yeah, we'll finish off your bracket. I just put on the screen, and then I accidentally this is your bracket. Well, and then I'll do a couple quick edits. We were pretty much locked, pretty similar. And again, the ones where we're slightly different, we're still going to draft the other side. So for you, with Seattle moving on and Rams moving on, what percent did you say you would still draft 49ers and draft Bears?
So to me, I think Broncos and 49ers, I'm like 40%, 45%, somewhere in there. Bears, it's a 50-50. Like I want to be, if I, let's say I do 40 teams, I don't know if I will, let's say I do 40, I want to have essentially, half of them, I'm splitting this game, right? Like I want at least two players from this game. Half the time I want it to be Bears, half the time I want it to be Rams.
Okay. And what about 49ers?
That's like 40%.
Okay. So
with the Broncos.
You would do, why is this not? Oh, I have it set for just 10 seconds. I have no idea how to change this in StreamYard. Give me 1 second. Timer off. There we go. That was driving me insane, Steve. Okay, so
the timer back on.
I was like, why does it keep going down? This is annoying me. Okay, so but you're saying as far as in drafts, you would draft more like 60-40, the Seattle 49ers, 60% to Seattle?
Yeah, same with the Bills.
Okay, and same with the Bills. Okay, that's fair. Let's just finish out your bracket here, since I did get the graphic to stay up. Who do you see meeting in the Super Bowl?
I'm going to stick with what I had before, Bills, Rams, and the Bills to win it. Okay,
that is what you had before the playoffs even started last week. So you're saying Bills, Rams, and Bills finally bring home the Lombardi. Okay, so this, my friends, is Steve's bracket. I will go to chat, and then I will change it to Meg's bracket and do a version of that. It's going to be very similar. But again, we're trying to be clear that where we are making stands, outside the Texans, we still want access to the Broncos, in your case, access to the 49ers, access to the Bears, as opposed to predicting your final four. And of course, you're obviously then probably going to lean heavier into Bills and, Stafford and Allen stacks. You have to pay for that. Obviously they go very early in drafts. So let me catch up in chat really quick, and then I will go over and do, my tweaks here. First of all, good to see Al Boogie in chat here. I'm just rooting for whichever team takes out Liam's Bills. Absolutely hysterical. Love you, Al Boogie. Good to see you.
On the wrong side of history.
Yeah, exactly. Feels like the 49ers finally ran out of gas this week. Great to see you, Best Ball, on call. And Sia giving me props on the prop that I talked about on Early Edge this morning with CMC receiving yards. He said the line has already jumped to 47-49 pretty much everywhere. I think I've already laddered it, Steve, but I did it so late last night. I need to go back and check. But I do really like that play. Without George Kittle, I think they're just going to have to rely on CMC as a receiver. And Seattle gives up the most receptions to running backs out of the backfield. And as you know, they just will line CMC up in various ways. Obviously, Kyle Shanahan, very creative in doing that, and 6th most receiving yards. But yeah, great to see you, Al. And thank you very much, Sia. Great to see you, Al Boogie. Cooler's mentioning the Bears play such a high variance style, like to look for live bet spots. I think that is very sharp as well. Rams D, semi-quiet, not looking strong for weeks. Kind of agree with that too, Coolers. Yeah, no, I kind of agree with that too. And that's why it would not shock me. And hey, we have Patriots, Bears, if we can get that gauntlet through. I can see a world where that happens, I mean, I don't think we've talked about this last week's show before those playoffs, and we did this bracket. And again, you still have the same Super Bowl matchup here going into divisional round. We talked about this. This is the most wide open the playoffs has felt in, it feels like decades, but it feels like so long. I personally love it. Wild card weekend delivered. I hope divisional round does too. But great point by Coolers here on the Rams defense. Do you like San Francisco outright winner or ATS? I definitely like them against the spread. I think that's a big number.
Yeah.
Was it 7.5 now? Yeah, definitely like 49ers spread. I actually am going to probably sprinkle on the 49ers money line, but you know, I got what, 2 out of 3 of my underdogs last week. Last week I bet the Bears, I bet the 49ers, and I bet the Steelers. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But yeah, it is a very, very, very wide spread for sure. The tech queen was not doing well with the 10-second. We got Fantasy Monster, RBs or King. Is that Thad? Did Thad change his name? What's going on, Thad? But great to see you in here. Fantasy Monster, that works too. But RBs are King. And, you know, Loveland is the focus. I absolutely love Loveland. You know, last week was so skeptical of him in daily drafts and DFS. Just didn't buy it. Like, Packers have been strong against the tight end position. It doesn't matter. He has become Caleb's guy. I really do like Loveland and dailies and DFS this week. And yeah, he's become like their go-to guy. I looked in since week 16 through wildcards. So like the last 4 weeks, he has like a 28% target share, is averaging like, I mean, an absurd amount, like 90 yards a game. Cooler said I'd bet 49ers money line or Seattle alts before betting 7.5. No, I do think that makes sense. I actually really do think that makes sense. Mostly just playing variance instead of trying to beat the normal vig. No, I think that totally makes sense. Let me change my fancy banner here, Steve, and then I'm going to just do a couple quick edits to your Super Bowl bracket, and then go ahead and the teching is just absolutely awesome.
I'm so tempted to change it right back after you do it.
Steve, no. Wait, how do I remove this? Do I just start over? Oh no. This is
click on it. Just click on the team. Like
no. Oh,
no, click on 49ers instead of Seattle.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm really struggling. Okay. So I'm with you on the AFC, though, again, would not be shocked if Broncos win this week. I'm with you on the Rams, but would not be shocked if Bears. So I guess the only one in the final 4 that I'm changing is 49ers. I'm going to be a homer here and go with the 2 teams I like. Though I will say, I said this on the early edge today, would this not be a fun Super Bowl? The 2 MVP candidates. There's been so much talk, you know, of the MVP and should it be May? Is it more of a lifetime achievement award for Stafford? This would be a fun freaking Super Bowl. I'll just say that. I think it's going to be paid. I think somehow, some way, Josh Allen just can't Superman his way all the way to the Super Bowl this year. I don't think the team is. I just think this Patriots team is just. I don't know. I just think it has it. It has it. So I'm going to go Patriots, beat the Bills in the AFC Championship to move on. Break the Bills fans' hearts once again. I'm going to go 49ers Rams, but again, would not be surprised. Seattle would not be surprised. I'm going to flip with you. I'm going to do, 30-40% Seattle, 30-40% Bears for sure. Would not surprise me if either of those are the NFC Championship game. I don't know, Steve. I think I'm going to go Homer or not Homer. The teams I like the most. I absolutely love Drake May, the Patriots. I absolutely love CMC. And the 49ers, and hey, they're getting Fred Warner back. They opened up his practice window. I don't know. And I think
they need to win this week, but yeah.
Yes. He's not going to be back this week. So, they won't have Bosa coming back, but they might get Fred Warner back for the NFC Championship or Super Bowl. I don't know. Just feels like that adverse. Maybe I'm just looking for the story in this wide open playoffs, but it just feels like that story. They have overcome every level of adversity. And again, could this go wrong? Absolutely. I could absolutely see it being, honestly, any of the other ones, Seattle, Rams, Bears. I think the NFC is more wide open than the AFC. I only think it's Bills, Patriots. That's my hot take.
So my take, and I haven't even looked at like the latest odds or anything. I think Kyle Shanahan should be coach of the year. I think
Yeah.
you have great candidates in 3 first-year.
I mean, the two Super Bowl matchup I have should be the two.
Yeah, I mean, you have Vrabel and Ben Johnson first. I mean, Vrabel was coach before, but first-year coaches be number 2 seeds. You've Liam Cohen, first-year coach, being number 3 seed, and he's had a lot of adversity with injuries.
Yeah.
But I absolutely think Kyle Shanahan, the job that he's done in the toughest division, bar none. I think the AFC or NFC West is the toughest division this year. Is absolutely fantastic. And in just about any other division, he would have won it. And then potentially had a home field advantage, bye, et cetera. So yeah. And what was the stat? Oh, I heard the stat earlier. I think me and Hayden talked about it in Winks. The NFC West is like those 3 teams are 40-7 against everyone else, or something just beyond ridiculous. They basically just beat up on each other this year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, to me, it's just like, I don't know, maybe I'm leaning into the storyline too much, but I think it's just like they've overcome so much adversity. Could it run out this week? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But could they go all the way? I think they could, so especially getting Warner back. So that is my Super Bowl. Let me catch up with chat, and then we will get to Underdog live drafts, see what the people want to do first. But let me catch up really quick. We talked about Loveland. We talked about the 49ers bets. Yes, it's Thad, the ball knower. Good to see you, Thad. Yeah, Loveland has had 10, 13, 16 targets with 90 plus in each game and 2 touchdowns, I believe, in the last 4. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, Sam. Okay. Hartman's lockstep there. 49ers money line bet place. I might run it back again, Steve. I might run back 49ers money line and, a Seattle props. And then, well, the other ones aren't really, I guess the others are all favorites that I like, because I was going to say I may do it for the Bears too, though, and do something for like Bears. And then you could do like a Puka or Devontae, Puka and Stafford, or Puka and Devontae Adams, something along those lines. May run that fun. That was fun last week. But yeah, Bills better hope they don't play the Texans is all. Yeah. I don't think Texans get past the Pats this week. So yeah, put yours in chat, or better yet, after the show, leave your favorite Super Bowl matchup or your predicted Super Bowl matchup. I think I gave my favorite as my predicted, but I also wouldn't mind seeing Pats Rams. But yeah, that's how I'm playing it, Steve. I'm fading the Texans. I'll be lower on the Broncos, but I'll have Broncos. I think very confidently that Patriots or Bills come out of the AFC. That's what I think. On the NFC, I think it's absolutely wide open. I would probably give it, Rams the highest, even though I said I think 49ers, then Seahawks, then the Bears. But I think that is very, very, very none. Let me say it this way. If Texans or Broncos went to the Super Bowl for the AFC, I would have an element of surprise. I'd be stunned if it was the Texans, even though their defense is elite, just with their running backs, Stroud, if Nico misses this week, all the things.
Yeah.
But I would not be stunned or surprised at all if any of the 4 NFC sides make it. And I think that's important as you're doing these drafts. So maybe that leads me to do more Allen and May stacks, but you got to pay for that, but we're talking about doing 2 quarterbacks too. So Gamelsine says Pats Rams, or Pats Seattle, maybe. If May can win it for the Staffs, or for the Pats, I hope Stafford gets one. Yeah, I mean, that would be interesting to see if Stafford has his walk-off moment, potentially. Gamestein thinks Bears or 49ers are cooked. I mean, I get it, especially losing Kittle. If Bears bust out a new Super Bowl shuffle, your gauntlet is a lock to win. That is true, J Lives. I like that. Pats Rams, like it's 2001 again, and 2019. That was the first time I went to Vegas for a Super Bowl. Worst Super Bowl. What did the Patriots beat the Rams that didn't even score? There was like 1 touchdown, 1 or 2 touchdowns scored.
I think so. Yeah.
Snoozer of a Super Bowl, but I had a time in Vegas, so that was fun. I know I should not sleep on Denver. I mean, Sean Payton is right up there. Bo Nix, I totally get it. Got to chase the PGA overlay alert on Underdog. When does that close? Does that close before the Sony Open starts?
Yeah, I think tomorrow.
Got Blue Blood UNC. Good to see you in here. Don't get me wrong, Shanahan's done awesome and deserves credit, but I feel like Robert Saleh doesn't get enough credit. I agree. I mean, he's got that defense with, what, third stringers, yeah, playing absolutely lights out, or not lights out, playing above their heads, right? Yeah. I mean, playing above expectations, I should say it that way. Sean Harbaugh should win Coach of the Year for getting the Steelers to go to the playoffs. We got Stephen WC in here, GM. Great to see you as always, Stephen WC and Hartman. Yes, Thursday at 4 a.m. lock for all the playoff best ball drafts because essentially the season. PGA. Yes, the PGA best ball drafts. The PGA season starts this week, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yes, Sony Open. I do know that from Sia on the show today. I do know that. And yeah, always check out Sia's picks. He is very sharp in NFL and very sharp in golf coverage as well. Yeah, gotta love the variable vest. And I absolutely, I think it should be Vrabel or Shanahan for Coach of the Year. All right. Let's get to it. Who wants to draft with us? I'm going to bring over Underdog again. I'm going to enter from my phone. Do you want to let's do one gauntlet, a couple of mittens. Which do you want to do first, Steve?
Let's do a mitten first to warm it up and then.
Warm it up. Yeah. That's right. Okay. I like that call. I'm going to enter from my phone. So if you want to join us, I'm going to enter from my phone. I will count it down. We're going to do mitten returns first. So let me kind of hover over that, but I am entering from my phone. So mitten returns, I'll just put it up so you can see that this is what we're going to do, but I am again clicking it on my phone. So let me find it here. All right, mitten returns, the $5, and again, keep in mind 1 of 4 in our pod, so only 3 others can join us. Then it's 1 of 12, a 459 seat final for $10K. If you would like to join us, I am counting down the mitten returns in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. And draft starting soon. So hopefully the countdown worked to jump in together. Mitten returns starting shortly. Who do we have in here with us? We will see. Losimo. Okay, so if anybody else tried to join us, I apologize. What's that?
You rug pulled him.
Gamblestein's in the poker room on an Indian reservation, but can't watch. But we will. But we appreciate you in chat, Gamblestein. Who games that was Zach Orr too? Wait, what did he say about
coordinator?
Oh, gotcha. Cooler says definitely checking out Sia's Sony Open picks after the show. Yeah, I think the first early wedge is tonight with Sia and the gang. So definitely check that out. Absolutely need to. I need to check that out too, because I do like tailing them on golf stuff for sure. Oh no, Mike, FK and Mike are head to head. We rugged them. They're head to head. I apologize for that. And Mike says, I got FK in my draft. That's hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. Well, good luck to both of you. Hopefully one of you move on in your pod. Hopefully Losimo or us move on in this pod. But good to see you in here, Losimo. So JSN goes number 1. Obviously, if Josh Allen fell, that's a no-brainer. If Christian McCaffrey fell, that's a no-brainer. So Josh Allen does go. Do you want to go McCaffrey or did you want to pull up May? I guess we could also do both.
Yeah. This is the question. Do you want to do San Francisco, New England as the primary?
Yeah, that was my pick, wasn't it? So Meg gets her way as always.
Lovely.
All right, here we go. So I'm going to start doing my star method here, Steve. I'm just going to queue up to keep an eye.
Tonjes.
Got to get Tonjes,
I mean, where's DeMarcus Robinson, the dude?
Oh my God, you're right. Well, that was a big misstep on my part, for sure. Okay. Let me get back to 49ers. Oops, and then I'll go to the board. There he is. I mean, we'll throw Bourne in there too, but yeah.
The other thing we should look at is we should decide, Buffalo or Denver or Chicago.
Oh, I don't. Oh, I guess we are taking a quarterback on both sides, ideally.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. What am I doing?
I don't know.
I have no idea. Oh, okay. First of all, I wasn't at the top. Okay, so we were on the clock.
Definitely Diggs is one of these picks.
Okay, so I'll put him to the top. Oh shit!
we
Yes.
could
Like,
take,
do we build out the Patriots stack or do we take Purdy here?
We don't take Purdy here.
Okay. So do you want to build out? I kind of like Ramondre more than Stevenson.
Yeah, I like Diggs Ramondre.
Okay, you like Diggs Ramondre?
Yeah.
See, to me, whatever quarterback you're taking, hold on, let me do this first. To me, whatever quarterback you're taking first, I'm not even touching that other side. So I wouldn't touch Texans with an 8-foot pole, 10-foot pole, and anyways, but
No,
to me,
well, that's where I disagree. I think you should have, if we get Purdy, we want to have either some Bills or some Denver.
oh, okay. I thought you meant because we got Drake May. I was like, we're not taking any. First of all,
you're not taking Bo Nix, but
no, but I meant Texan. Whoever quarterback you're taking, you're definitely not taking like the Texans. And so in this stack, I probably wouldn't take any Bears either, or excuse me, Seattle either. But or if we got Purdy, I should say, like I'm not taking, but I see what you're saying. You're saying as like the other run back to the other quarterback. If you're predicting the final four, I mean, you and I both liked Bills slightly more. So I would say,
yeah.
I mean, Bills you can get late too. I mean, well, Broncos you can get late too. So, so if he's here, do you want to do 49 or excuse me, Purdy and what? Do you want to like as far as ADPs are concerned?
It'd be Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine doing that.
You want to go Purdy Henry since we already did, or did I mean, yeah, because we already got Ramondre.
No, I think
okay.
Purdy Henry.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know what I thought happened. We got sniped somehow. Okay, so we've got May, Ramondre, Diggs, Henry. We already have 4 on the New England side. And again, I should check this. This is still 10-round draft. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we have 4 on the New England side. We have Purdy, McCaffrey. And so do you feel the need to get 4? So are we doing 4-4 and then are you just doing?
You do 1-1. 1-1. Or we could only do, I mean, we're obviously have 4 New England. We could do, it would lead to more AFC players, but you could do like 3 49ers and 2 Bills or 2 Denver players, and then you're totally covered for that outcome as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because 49ers get thinner. Though I do agree with this comment. I was mainly focused on the screen. Just could be the skeleton key here. They do utilize, I mean, he has stepped up in a big way when Kittle has missed time this year. So I don't hate that at all. Nope. I mean, we'll see, where he goes. Obviously, right now it's saying undrafted, but yeah. So coming up at 28 and 29. So we said we do want to focus on Bills and Bears or Rams as far as one.
Either way, had Loveland been there, I would have said Loveland's the pick. But
okay, so do we want to go? This is near Jennings ADP. Do we want to go
take Jennings here?
Okay, and then let's talk about it. Let's do the pro move here. Let's talk about it. We're only looking at running back, receiver. We have 2 quarterbacks. We're not taking Seattle.
Burden is well in play.
I think, yeah.
Or DJ Moore, one of those 2.
Yeah, because there's really, besides Parkinson or Higbee, there's not going to be many Rams. So, okay, so we get Jawan Jennings.
The other thing is to get a Bills player, because it does get thin after this. If we want to go Bills, it's Brandon Cooks. That's who we should be taking.
You don't think he'll come back? No.
No.
Okay. You want to go Bills instead of Denver?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so we're done with Bills. We're done with Patriots because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Patriots.
Well, we might need another. We might need another Bills. If we
I kind of like getting Tonjes. So I'll say that. But Okay, TBD. So let me take out the other Patriots, yeah, because we junked it up with a lot of them. I mean, yeah, if Burden or Moore come back, because again, then it's only you could also have Rome too if you think he steps up. Then the 49er, or excuse me, the Rams options, which we're not taking Seattle because we're not taking the team that we're building out the 2 quarterback stacks. We're not taking, I wouldn't take Texans anyways, and we're not taking Seattle in this one because we're telling the story, right? So we're going to try. We have 4 Patriots, try to do 4 49ers, and then 1 Bills, 1 either Rams or, there's obviously more Bears options. So, but there is Parkinson or Higbee there. So it does feel better, but again, you are
still there.
Oh, that's a good point. Thank you.
Take Bears.
Just bring him up. Let me just sort again by ADP. Oh, he goes, I guess.
Yeah, there's only 4 teams drafting them.
Right. I mean, I do feel like having the 2 running backs from the 2 teams that you ideally are building out for the Super Bowl, because again, whoever you're stacking up the most, that's the story you're telling too. But it would be nice, to have another. These are our last 2 picks, right? Yeah. So I think it's Tonjes, and you pick either one of the Bears, either Monangai or one of the
lean Bears,
or Parkinson or Higbee. So
yeah, I think we lean Bears here.
Okay. All right, so we'll go Tonjes, build out the 4-person, then we'll have Purdy, McCaffrey, Jennings, Tonjes, and then we will bring it back with just one other NFC side. And I'll let you pick. If you want to go Bears, do you like Burden, Moore, or Monangai the best? Rome or Monangai?
Yeah, it's fun because there's options here.
I mean, do you feel like any weight on the whole? Like, I think if you're building out the whole, it's going to be McCaffrey Super Bowl. If it's going to be a Patriots 49ers Super Bowl, I do think you're like.
Well, I think the one interesting thing is, so Monangai would give us a second running back option for the Super Bowl if the Bears advance this week and then were to knock off 49. Where
I do feel like our receiving core is weak though. But again, it's more important to build out the final 4. So, I don't know. Part of me says like Burden or DJ Moore or Rome. I don't know. 7 seconds. I'll let you choose. But I get what you're saying. I'll let you choose. So.
Let's go DJ Moore. I mean, I like all those receivers, and I like Monangai. So it's really tough. There's a lot of good options there for Bears, like second piece. And just to reiterate, this now allows it to be Patriots, 49ers, Patriots, Bears, or 49ers, Patriots, 49ers, 49ers, Bills.
Oh, I love to make Super Bowl bracket up. All right. So we ended with, Losimo ended with, it looks like a Josh Allen, or excuse me, he started Josh Allen, Cook, Devontae Adams, Shakir, Charbonnet, Kincaid, Henderson, Shaheed, Barner, Butte. So he is doing, obviously it can be Patriots with the 3.
He needs it to be Bills. He has 1 quarterback.
Sorry, I said the wrong thing. Shocker. He's doing a Bills stack, and it needs to be, and he's looking for either a Bills, Rams, or Bills, mainly Bills, Seahawks, I think. Right?
Bills, Rams, or Seahawks. He can do either.
Yeah. Yes. Bills, Rams, or Bills, Seahawks.
But he did what we did, and he's predicting the Patriots go forward. So then he's got a full team for next week if it is Rams, Seahawks, and Bills, Patriots.
Right. Absolutely. So we go, just seeing it looks like most of the other teams did 1 team. We go 2 quarterbacks. Losimo goes 1 with Allen, obviously telling the story. They're going to the Super Bowl. And then 3 quarterbacks to the 2 spot, 1 quarterback to the, so it was 1-3-6, different structures here. 1-3-6, 3-3-4, 1-3-6, 2-2-6 for us. And of course,
did I see that 3 quarterback team? I mean, it's an interesting idea.
Stafford, Nix, Caleb. So that's interesting. That I wouldn't. That I would not do, because it's 1 of 4 this week, right? So Yeah, that I would not do. Obviously, if you're taking 2, you're going to take somebody that plays each other next week, right?
Yeah, if you were taking 3 of them.
Obviously, because there's only 4 teams if you're taking 3. But yeah, that I wouldn't do. 2, 2, 6. I think in a perfect world, it would be more like 2, 3, 5. But I just didn't feel confident enough about the it's not like we had like a Puka or JSN anchor. We're more anchored at the running back position with McCaffrey and Ramondre. And we told that story that it's a Patriots 49ers Super Bowl. So I am fine with a 2, 2, 6. Since we were stacking up mainly a Patriots 49ers Super Bowl, but it could also be Patriots, Bears, or 49ers Bills. So yeah, so it ends up May, Purdy, McCaffrey, Ramondre, Diggs, Hunter Henry, Juwan Jennings, Brandon Cooks, Jake Tonjes, DJ Moore. So 4 Patriots, 4 49ers, 1 Bills, 1 Bear. I like the way it turned out. Thoughts, Steve, before we rip our next one?
I think that's generally, I think I will build 3 and 2 from each conference, 3 of my team with the quarterback, and then two other players. So this would have been like, instead of a Hunter Henry, like another Bill, and then instead of like Tonjes, another Bear. So I think that can be a little bit more viable, and some of that is instead of relying on Henry and Tonjes, but we didn't really have a bill that fit us. We would have had to structure a little bit differently. So I think how we did it is totally fine. But I think the 3 and 2 is a little safer because you're probably getting more top level players for particular teams. But I think we actually got a really good value in Brandon Cooks. I'm kind of surprised he goes this late, just because, I'm very surprised the Bears receivers go late, but Brandon Cooks is him and Shakir are going to be the guys going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Hulk says, any Mac Hollins rumors to return? I have not heard of anything. Have you, Steve?
I didn't hear anything. So I don't know if they get through this round, how that would be, but yeah.
Fantasy Monster Thad says, when is the big board drop? And Coolers is right, usually during conference championship weekend or right after. So maybe next weekend or the following week. So pay attention. It's a coming and we will be ready. Tanja Skellington Key, I kind of am agreeing with you. Bills baseline OBJ at this point. That's hysterical. I like Rome as a late advance piece or stack if you made Bears. I agree with that. I mean, another week, back. I think that's kind of fun. Al Boogie says, I think these should be 6 people. I think what was it last year? I thought it was 6 last year. I kind of like the 4 people because it doesn't make it as hard to get that second quarterback. But it does, I think it gives more leeway on these structural decisions. So I kind of like 4, but I get what you're saying. I do think it used to be 6.
I want to say maybe 2 years ago. I think last year was 4 also. But
okay, yeah, because I do feel like 6, the player pool would just be so thin. It would just be, it'd be very dusty by round because then you're drafting 10 times 60 players. So
we're only drafting 40 players. That's why all these Bears are still there. Some Rams tight ends, Ricky Pearsall.
Okay, yeah. How did Mike and Coolers are reporting back from their draft? Obviously, they're in the underflow, overflow, whatever you want to say. They were in the underflow. They're drafting together. FK likes Rome so much he snipes him from the Williams draft owner. Coolers got boxed out. He also boxed out the Knicks guy. And Blue Blood, good to see you in here. I said that earlier, but appreciate you. I feel like you need to treat these like daily drafts and do a couple scroll downs. Coolers likes that as well. I do think a couple scroll downs are fun for sure. The 4 drafts are fun if you want to fight dirty. You can also make good stacks and ruin others at the same time. That's true, especially when you're going for the 2 quarterback things. Don't think J.K. Dobbins is coming back. I don't. There
was talk. I think it would have to be Super Bowl. I don't think it's this week or next week.
But. Got it. Okay, let me scroll over it again. You want to do one more mitten and then go into the gauntlet. Go into the gauntlet. So I'll highlight it, but I'm going to again enter on my phone. So let me do that. If anybody wants to enter mitten, one more. Oh, let me label this. Well, I'll label them after that. Just don't let me forget, Steve. So if anybody wants to join us for another Mitten Returns, I'm going to count down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter. One more to start. So we should be starting soon. Cooler center now. That's hysterical. Al Boogie, how are your playoff drafts going? You have to let us know. Okay, we're number 2 this time, and Losimo's with us. I recognize G Temp. For sure. So obviously we want to do something different this time. We'll see what Andrew does. But I'd say either JSN and Puka or Puka, unless you wanted to reach for another.
And like I said, the first round is really what's going to dictate your draft.
For sure.
So, I'm fine with either one of those two. I think Allen is a fine pull up if you really wanted to do Bills, but I think Puka or JSN, you just build it out from there.
Yeah.
JSN obviously is much easier to get Darnold. Puka, it's going to be tougher to get.
Okay, so they go Puka. So I'll leave it to you, Steve. Do you want to build out JSN or do you want to build out Josh Allen?
No, do JSN.
Okay. So let's start queuing Seattle. That's about as far as I need to go there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then let's sort by ADP. Darnold goes at 10, so I'm not sure if he'll come here. Ideally,
I don't think we take him at 7. Though. To me, it's ridiculous.
No. So, if James Cook is there, but you don't have Allen, I'm guessing G Temp will take him because he has Allen. Yep. Okay. So we're not taking Devontae or Kyron Stafford though. So because they would
what's under Diggs?
Nix, Harvey. I think this is why Darnold goes so early, right? Because you're not going to take Rams if you're taking
Darnold.
Yeah. And then I think the question, then you can, just get a piece of Denver or so I
you want to do Denver this time?
Do you want to go Knicks?
Yeah, let's go Knicks. You can build out the rest kind of later. You running back.
Unless you wanted to get Harvey as our first running back. That's the only.
No, let's go Knicks.
Okay. All right. So we'll be back up at 15, 18. So yeah, everybody's, Losimo is doing similar to what we did. G Temp, Allen Cook, full Ram stack for the one spot. So all makes sense there. I do think you want to get one of Charbonnet or Walker here at our next pick. Unless Harvey fell back, you could maybe get Harvey and Charbonnet.
Yeah.
But we still have a ways to go here. So, because now we are building out a Seattle Denver Super Bowl, which isn't, my more common preferred one. Obviously I didn't have in mind either of them in the Final Four, and but I said I wanted shares of both. So this is kind of like my hedge one where I can see it happening, but it's not like my first choice. So wouldn't probably do this in a gauntlet. Let me say it that way. Like that would be a gauntlet. I probably would pull up Josh Allen. All right, Harvey. I think we got to go Harvey though. He's not going to take with all Rams. So, or I hope not.
No.
Okay. So then we go Charbonnet.
Yep.
And there you go. We did exactly what we did last time. Quarterback, running back, and a receiver. So I like that, and kind of do the same 4-4 and then 1-1 from each side. Ideally, then is kind of how you like it.
Well, we could do 3-3. It doesn't have to be 4-4. So,
but then you'd be doing 2-2.
Yeah, but I think that's very viable because, again, some of these offenses like relying on multiple Seattle receivers. It's not necessarily worth it.
All right, so I don't think we need to reach for Cup here. Sutton, I forgot to 100%. Start. Yeah, definitely that. Let me queue up Denver outside of him.
That's the thing. Like these other guys are undrafted. We don't have to force them.
Right.
Like if we get Sutton here, we can be
Damn.
We did.
Top of ADP,
So
Caleb.
we should take. Shit.
You don't want to take Kincaid.
We don't want to do Loveland.
Yeah, I'd say Loveland, right?
Yeah.
We were running out of time, so I just wanted to make sure that'll be our like one piece ideally. And I think that's
well, this is the thing. Like, I actually think we should do 3 Seattle. We have 3 Seattle, do 2 Bears.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Well, you can do that later. What do you want to do here?
Let's take Troy Franklin.
Over.
Yeah.
Over Cup. Okay.
Yeah. We need.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't get. Yeah, because we already have JSN. We didn't get Sutton. So we have 3-3 right now, and you're saying do 2 Bears and 2
Patriots,
or unless you wanted to get hold on. Now you're breaking my brain. If we did 3, or you could do 4 and 1 on the other side, right?
Yeah, but if so, I'd rather do 4 Denver and 1 Patriot. Like Seattle, Cup, Shaheed, Barner, like you can make a case.
No, but if you're doing 2 Bears, you only need 3 Denver. I'm confused. Do we wait? Do we want to just take Cup or Shaheed here?
Yeah.
Who do you want to take?
I would rather take DJ Morgan, or if you want to go down to Odunze.
Your choice.
Take DJ Moore.
All right, then I only think you need, because that's covering a Denver super. I don't think you need more Denver because you covered that.
Okay.
So
you want to go New England?
Yeah, it's only like Demario Douglas.
Yeah, that's why I think we could take an extra Bronco.
Wait, do you
take Demario Douglas? Just take Demario Douglas.
But I don't.
We're covered on the NFC side.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had the whole 4-4-1-1 easily in my head. I don't know why this is confusing me. So what do you want to do here?
I would take another Denver player, or we could, if you want to strengthen running back, get Kyle Monangai. I think that's your options.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the running backs are. I'd say that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
here's the only. Then Demario Douglas is a wasted pick, but
whatever.
Yeah.
Well, then you tell me what to do. Would you prefer to go?
We actually need running back help.
Yeah, I don't. Didn't love this draft as much, but you're saying so this one we only have 3 options: either Seattle Broncos, or Seattle Bears, right?
No, it's Broncos, Bears, Broncos, Seattle, Bears. Like unfortunately, we didn't cover the other pieces of it. Like we didn't we need another New England one to cover Seattle, New England, but there's no New England pieces left. Like taking Austin Hooper doesn't do anything for you in my book. So,
yeah, I didn't love that one as much, but and it wasn't my favorites of the final.
Like 4. Ideally, we still have 10 players through to next round to help us advance to the Super Bowl, but it's a thinner Super Bowl path. I like doing 3 and 2 of each conference. I think that's the strongest build. That was my ideal, but then Patriots just run out of players. Is the problem. That's why I like doing 3 Seattle and 2 Bears, because I think that's a really strong NFC lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's Denver and either of those 2 teams, you have a great Super Bowl roster. I feel like, you've Denver and you'd still have Darnold, but you'd have Charbonnet and JSN, or Loveland who do we get? Do we get Loveland, right?
Yeah.
Loveland and DJ Moore.
Yeah.
With Denver. Like those are great Super Bowl lineups. The problem is the Patriots just don't have enough staying power. Like there's not enough pieces at the end of the Patriots.
Yeah.
So like to do it, because to me, that's the way I look at it. Like, yes, you could take an Austin Hooper, you could take a Kyle Williams, but how good is your Super Bowl lineup of Seattle Patriots at that point? It's pretty weak, you know.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's why I honestly kind of like the 4-4-1-1 a lot. And then you're just really predicting the Super Bowl, but you have other outs on the other side. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
The problem with that is like it works to me. It only works for a couple teams. Like Seattle, like there's so many games where Shaheed or Cup have like 2 catches.
And I like this point too. And I wanted to point out 2 things. So first of all, Losimo built out a 2-3-5. We did a 2-3-5. Yeah. He built out a 49ers Patriots like we did, but he did only 49ers Patriots. So it's all 49ers Patriots. So you're very heavy. If you make 49ers Patriots Super Bowl, you have a loaded Super Bowl roster. And I think there's something to be said for that too, because, you know, you're basically saying that if I make it to the Super Bowl, then look out, because, you know, I have like all, you know, and it's a big finals, right? So I don't mind that approach either. And then I don't mind this approach. And Cooler says a volume game where you say, like, especially someone like, we really like if you chose the Josh Allen side or you chose a May stack early and you're just running with, you know, and you may even only do one. This would be one time where you did only do one quarterback. And you're saying if Allen's going to get there, he's going to be Superman every week. And it's a Bill stack, like a 4-man Bill stack. And then you're rotating 2, you know, pieces of 3 different teams. So you'll lose one.
Not how I'd approach that, because you're guaranteed to lose 2 for week 2. I'd only have 1. Like, so what I do is I do like a 4-man Bill stack. And then I would have, I'd still ideally get a second quarterback. So you have 6 players left. And, you know, let's say you do, just because he's the cheapest to get, Caleb Williams. So you do couple Bears, 3 Bears, and then 2 of Seattle or 49ers, and then 1 of either that one or 1 of the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Wait, say it again. Sorry.
So I do. Let's just for the point, you do 4 Bills. And then you do 3 Bears. So that's 7 of your 10 spots. But 3 of those Bears includes Caleb. Or it could be Darnold. But
let's just pick teams so I understand better. Okay, so you do 4 Bills. You're doing 3 Bears with Caleb because he's later. I get that. Yeah. Okay. Then if you did what Coolers is saying here, then you have 3 spots left. You do like 2 and 1 and hope the team that you have 1 of is the team that doesn't make the Final 4.
Yeah. I mean, you could do 1 of each team to truly cover every outcome.
I don't really like that because
then you'd be down 2 players for the semifinal game.
Yeah. And you'd be down 2 if you did, you know, 4 Bills and then, you know, picked 3 of the 4 NFC teams. You'd be down 2 players because only 2 of those 3 are moving on. So you'd lose 2. I get what you're saying. Because we talked about it, the advance rate is going to be so hard in conference championship and it's going to be such a big final. So ideally you want as many players for Super Bowl if you're working way your back, but you also still want as many players possible. You know, while still having outs. So I guess, and Cooler saying a volume game, I agree. UNC says, I think you want to mix all types of bills. If you're only doing a few drafts, good luck, but I would be focused maybe on 3 teams max. I do think it's easier in your head to do like the 3 teams max. You could also just approach it, I feel more confident about, like, again, let's say, because me personally, I think it's more wide open on the NFC than it is the AFC. So let's use the Allen stack again. Or let's use May, he at least goes around the turn. You do a May stack and then you do like a Caleb Bear stack because you can get that later. Purdy you can get slightly later too, but you add 1 more team. And again, it's whatever team is not playing that team that you stack the other quarterback with. So instead of the 3-3-1-1, it could be like 4. Wait, how am I doing this here? Give me a minute. It could be like 4-4-2, where you're doing like, 4. I'm just making this up, but you could do like 4 New England, 4 Purdy, or 4 49ers, and then you could do like 2 of not Seattle, because they're definitely going to be eliminated if the 4 49ers move on, 2 of, Rams or Bears. And that way, if it's, again, say you picked Rams and it's 4-man May stack, a 4-man Purdy stack, and 2 Rams, and it is, Patriots, whoever, Rams, 49ers, then, you would have all live players next week. And then you would and then if it became the Super Bowl, then you'd lose 2 to the Super Bowl.
If I was doing 4 of, I generally wouldn't want to do it that way.
Why? Talk it through.
Simply because if the 49ers lose, then you're down to Bills and Rams, or Bills and Bears. Like that's
that particular one. I was talking Patriots, but yeah,
whatever. My point being is your chance of winning next week is very non-existent. And so if so, I would rather, and then even if, then you run a risk of just being, if let's say you pick the Rams and the Bears win, then you only have a Bills 49ers out. Like if you're doing 4 of one side, ideally I'd cover as many bases as possible to FK's point on the other side.
Okay.
And
so of all the different options, because you could do 4-4-1-1, as you were saying, like 3-3-2-2. As I was saying, you could do 4-4-2 or 4-3-3, something like that. Again, your favorite one is the 4-4-1-1.
No, actually mine's 3-2-3-2 is my favorite. And mainly because we're in 4-person pods. Like we don't have to get as deep.
Right.
Like I said, like look at the level of players we're drafting this week.
3-2-3-2. So you're basically hoping to nail the 3-2-3-2 of the final 4, basically.
Yeah, because if so, you're 10, and then even if you get 3 of the 4 you predicted, then you're at 8. And one side, you'd still have 2 outs for the Super Bowl. Like you just need the one side, one of the quarterbacks. Let's say you did Bills, and we'll just say 49ers Bears, like we did the first one. I know we did Patriots, but if Bills and you took Patriots as your other 2, if Bills advance and and let's say Patriots were to get knocked out by the Texans, then you still have Bills versus any of those 2. You know what I mean? Like, and vice versa. If Bills get knocked out, you'd still have the Patriots live. You wouldn't have it live with the bottom, with say the team you didn't get a quarterback.
But aren't
a 4-man finals team potentially? So it's just
I mean, again, it's so top heavy overall, and it's a big finals. I think I kind of do feel like you're playing for the strongest Final 4 to make it to the finals, but you're playing for ideally to get the most potential Super Bowl teams. So if you break it up too much, excuse me, I just the draft I just showed did like an all Super Bowl roster essentially.
Yeah.
So if that makes it that might be harder to get through, but if it makes it through, it's like loaded. And that gives you the best chance to find the top. And then you get into, could it be a scroll down? Because I mean, we've seen like the Mecole Hardmans of the world, that kind of shit that has popped in the Super Bowl and like the lower end stuff. I think there's something to be said with that, or maybe creative builds like, is there value in taking, if you're stacking up the Patriots, taking both Patriots running backs? Because it may be, divisional round, it's Henderson, and the next round it's Ramondre, and the next round it's both somehow and not May, and you have the other quarterback. Like I do think there's a lot of galaxy brain to this too that we don't even have time to get into, but like I do think I'd prefer probably the 4-4-1-1 and hope the 4-4 are because you have multiple outs to the Super Bowl, and you're trying to predict the final 4, but you're hoping the 4-4 are Super Bowl. So then you have, I think it's kind of playing at both sides of the advance rate and having the most pieces possible. Because if you do the 3-3-2-2, you're guaranteed to only have 6 players max. Correct? Yeah.
Yeah, 6 players max, and then 2 of them being quarterbacks. No, that is fair, but it's also
that's why I don't like it.
You're also likely to get better combos of players. Like, having 4 Bears and Kyle Williams or Demario Douglas, even if you're right with that being your Super Bowl, good luck. Like you said, it's a 500 person final. Like unless that one.
That's my point. But that's my point is I kind of, again, like I liked our first draft much better is what I'm trying to say. This is like a full blown Sibling Showdown is because if it is Patriots 49ers, you have 8 guys and, Ton just isn't that high owned, whatever. He's going to be drafted, but so I like that better. That's how I'm going to probably play it. But again, to each his own. And if you're doing volume, you should be mixed it. Yeah. I mean, if you're doing volume, mix it up. So let me catch up on chat because Best Ball Sauce, what up, UNC and Megs. UNC said went a little heavy on the 5-man stacks in the regular. It didn't think it would be so hard to advance those teams, especially with the 1 seed. Yeah, it's very hard with any 1 seeds that is hard, especially if you really like the 1 seed. You definitely want to wait for these returns drafts for sure. What do you think of picking? Okay, yeah, we talked about this, like picking it, rotating it. And I think in that same case, if you do that, maybe of the 3 teams only have 1 on the 1 side and hope that's not the one that, so because I don't know. I like that. I don't love that either because you need firepower next week and you're definitely losing 1. And then I want as much firepower for conference championship and Super Bowl, but I do think it's viable. But this is the point I was looking for. I think if you're doing volume, you need to like mix all types of builds. And I think I probably will either do mostly the 4-4-1-1 or just mix 3 teams and hope that I'm right. Maybe you do like May 4-man stack and 3 of one and 2 of another, or maybe you do a 5-man May stack and 3 of one and 2 of another, whatever the case is. I think the bottom line is there's a lot of ways to play it. I would, if you're doing volume, I'd mix strategies because, again, just like we say in best ball, we don't know what's going to work. Go ahead.
One thing I want to say is, and as we see, not all scroll downs are created equal. If you are building a bear stack, you can build a 5-man bear stack.
Yeah,
that is very good. And if the Bears go to the Super Bowl, you don't need a bring back. You could have a legit, Caleb, Swift, Loveland, and
Well, you probably, unless the Bears are shutting them out, you may want a bring back.
But what I'm saying is,
to finish at the top, you're not playing to make $200 in the mitten.
Point. But my point is, most of these scroll downs are going to only make you $200. Like the Demario Douglases, the Kyle Williams, the Dawson Knoxes, the Ray Davises, these guys, the chance that they score, Brian Robinson, Jake Tonjes, the chance that they would score more than 5 points is very minimal. And my point is not all scroll downs are created equal. So forcing scroll downs, to me, A, it lessens your chance to get there, and B, how much upside does it give you? That's what I would keep in mind. Are there exceptions? Yes. You pointed out, a couple of years ago, it was the Kadarius Toney return. It was Juwan Jennings.
Hardman had the last touchdown.
Cole Hardman, but that was different. That was very important for the regular gauntlet because those were both 1 seed, so you had to have scroll downs to get there. That was the only way you were going to do it. You could not load up on those teams. You weren't going to advance the first round.
Right. Again, to everybody's point, chat, and again, we appreciate you talking these Galaxy Brain, talking through this because it's again the football stuff that we talked earlier, making the brackets, talking through with the likelihood of who's the Final Four, who's making it to the Super Bowl, but it's also what best ball is and strategy and lineup construction. And are you doing 2 quarterbacks, 2 or 3 running backs? How are you building it? How much of each side? So Cooler gives an example here. My specific one I just did was 4 Pats, 2 Rams, 2 Seattle, 2 Chicago, but 1 is Caleb. I'm going to experiment with different builds. I think that's a good point, and I think you were kind of alluding to that earlier. So as long as it's Patriots, Rams, Seattle, Chicago, you're going to lose one of Rams or Chicago. So but 1 is the quarterback. So in that case, I think you'd probably, unless they were high drafted Rams, you'd want it to be Chicago that moves on, and that ideally, if you're hoping, again, you're telling a story in each one. But again, he says, I'm going to experience different builds. Absolutely. Again, I don't think there's not a magic winning formula.
No.
I think a lot of people honestly do what we what we saw in the draft that we just did with Losimo is they do just hammer two teams, right? And honestly, Patriots and 49ers allow you to do that the most. You can easily do a 4 or 5 man of each. And I think there's going to be a lot of teams that do that. And I think that's totally fine. And I think there are a lot of people say that works, but I wish I made a DK finals one year. And I think again, I only had like, I want to say 6 live players. I want to say I had like 5 Kansas City and 1 like late 49er or something like that. And I think Hardman was one of them, but it's again, because I didn't have enough of the other side and that, you needed both sides, that I wasn't even sniffing anything near the top of that DK final. So that's where I guess I see the whole like 2 teams, but I at least would probably want 3 teams. And I kind of like the either one AFC, that's where I kind of get on board with like the 4-4, but 1-1 kind of covering you a little bit more for potential push through to the Super Bowl. And then you're hoping. But I like mixing up different. I think if you're doing volume, there's no master answer. If you're doing volume, mix up different builds, bottom line. And UNC says, example, I had some good Packers teams with one team from the other side, got a lot of Broncos through on those. Okay. So had Packers won, it would have looked awesome to push a Broncos team through, but because and that's what, playoff best ball, it's like the teams you push through, then there are going to be dead teams. So then that's where it can get really interesting, but it's hard to push live teams through. So it's definitely hard. We got Bindles in here. What's up? He says, good evening, sickos. Good evening to you, Bindles. Hope hope you are getting ready for big board season. Enjoying the NFL playoffs. And UNC says hi to Bindles. Mike Robb says, so after Steve's done, are we doing some PJ and MLB? Don't hurt us. Eddie needs it. I'm exhausted and I need to do some more work tonight. So I don't think I can, but Steve, I think the people were asking you for some MLB. You said maybe when do those you got plenty of time, right? I mean,
but they're now live. I mean, they had the early already live, but now the Dinger is live. I probably won't do it until after the big board drops, just because that's my focus right now. Because we just had Nolan or Rondo traded today. Bergman signed the other day. Like things are still happening. So I did some early last year, but this year is only going to kind of wait till Dinger and like February is when I'm going to target to start doing drafts.
Okay. And I will say, how about we do this? So Cooler says, or maybe this will be like bi-week math or my head starts to hurt and I just quit. Absolutely. My head's starting to hurt now. So let's do one gauntlet and then just get in the drafter streets, do one drafters because my head is starting to hurt. I need to go check on my dog and I have more work to do. So Mike says, when you started Jeopardy training, you got to get in the prep in the streets. We got to talk to Bruni, the plan this year of when it'll start. Hopefully we can even start earlier and get more, a bigger tournament. But shout out to Bruni. Best Ball Jeopardy is amazing. As long as Bruni's good, we are going to be running Best Ball Jeopardy back with Alex Trebek Bruni. So Steve, when are you starting your training for that?
I need to.
I mean, I know you can do better, I know you can do better. But and Mike Robb always has your back. That too. So, all right, I'm going to enter it from my phone, but if anybody wants to join us in one gauntlet returns, I'm going to, again, count it down from my phone just to make sure. And again, this advance rate, keep in mind, 1 of 4 out of the pod, 1 of 10, still big final. So that is what we're doing here. Let me get to that. Okay. Gauntlet returns. I'm entering in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter. 3 more. So if you went in with us, hopefully we didn't get anybody that entered too early. If you went in with us, jump in now. Maybe people jumped in already. Oh no, we're down to 1. Okay, let me pull it up here now. Gauntlet returns, waiting for 1.
Lost 1.
Waiting for 2. So if you got in the underflow, I apologize. If you didn't, we're waiting for 2. The water is warm. I mean, $25 is more of an investment than the $5 mitten, so I get it. And again, sorry to Coolers and Mike that both got in, together both times. Absolutely hysterical. So yeah, and then Steve, let's just do, as we're waiting, most you probably know drafters of every contest is cumulative format. So it's cumulative. It was cumulative for, the first tournament, and now it's cumulative for both their $20 and their $5. I think they call it, not the returns, they call it second chance. So if anybody wants to do that, we'll probably just do one. And hopefully it can fill right after this. And we'll do one kind of talking through the differences of cumulative as we go. So we are live, and we've got Coolers at the 1. Oh boy, we got three out of 4 of us. Coolers at 1. We're at 2. Lolsimo at 3. And JSNOD at the 4 spot. So Steve, I'm just going to go ahead and say that I don't want to do a Seattle stack for, listen, they could go all the way, but to me at 2, it's if Coolers goes Puka, I'd rather do Allen or McCaffrey. So
okay.
I'm just telling you.
Before we get started, just to answer.
We're trying to avoid any fights.
Woodblood UNC's question, when the winning BBM lineup was drafted, I think it was June 6th or something like that, June 4th, something like that.
Yeah, I know. I heard this remind me.
Yeah. Early June.
Yes. Shout out to Sam Sherman. He's done a couple shows with us in the past. Love Sam. Thinks he does amazing fantasy content. Thinks he's hilarious. I think he's hilarious on Twitter. I love Sam and Sherman, and I'm very, very, very happy for him. Big congrats to him again. And yeah, I think it was very early June. Okay. Look at this. You want to Coolers pivots on us here. Do you want to go Puka? Okay. All right. So, not hard to find the Rams. They're all right here. But let me get, the scroll down, all of them lined up here. What did I do? Okay. Okay. I think it's more important to get Stafford right here.
I don't think he's taking Stafford with JSN.
You never know. Whatever. I'll do. You think it's more important?
I think we get. I think he's more likely to take Adams. I don't know. Maybe let's go Adams.
Okay. If you're wrong, we're going to be talking different strategies here.
Well, I'm thinking by taking Puka and Adams, who's he stacking Stafford with? You know what I mean? Like, if we took Stafford,
he could stack an AFC team. He could. Oh, okay, yeah. He could do May and Stafford right here.
He could. He could.
Okay. Okay. He goes May Darnold because he has JSN. He could have gone. It was unlikely. Yeah, I get it.
And maybe he could. If he wants to share in the comments, if Adams had been there, would he have taken Adams? I don't know, but I think that's more likely than him taking Stafford.
Since I really want to take Stafford for the bid.
They just want to see you react.
Can I get the knockdown drag out?
Oh, it would have been bad. I'm scared.
You were not scared. Give me a break. All right. I feel like we have to go Blake Corum early just to make sure we get the running back. Because we won't be back up. It's 15 and 18, so I guess we don't have to.
We can wait till 18.
You don't know what Coolers want, Steve. You don't know. All right, so let's talk this through. We're not going to be drafting any Bears in this one because we're building out a big Ram stack. Who do you want to go? Diggs? Do you want to go Hart? I'd rather go teams we really like. Do you want to go Diggs here?
Let's go Diggs.
I like that. That's kind of messed up. Coolers, we just stole Diggs from him.
Yeah.
We're sorry.
We actually should have done Ramondre now that I think of it, but
yeah. We definitely should have gone Ramondre. But he got Henderson with Diggs, and he got Charbonnet. I think that makes a ton of sense.
Let's take Ramondre.
Huh?
Let's take Ramondre.
We're not going to get a Rams whatever then.
Yeah. There's a very real chance that Corum, we can get him at 23.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Both these guys already have 2 running backs. Harvey and Swift are above the board on that. Like, well,
Los Mo said no siree. I mean, Rams are in high demand, so
I understand, but
well, then now we're gonna have to. Oh, this is gonna break my brain because now I feel like we need to get a running back from.
we should take RJ Harvey.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Is we need,
as much as I like the Bills better, like Ray Davis does nothing for us.
We need to say that it's either Rams versus New England or Denver. And quite honestly, I wouldn't care if we did
one quarterback.
Well, where does yeah. They're gone. Yeah. Well, I knew May was gone, obviously, but okay. What do we do here? Because we don't have to where are any other Broncos? Oh, this is yuck. What do we do?
Oh boy, this is bad.
Oh God, I'm doing a panic pick. Should we just go
No, you don't do Loveland. Loveland's the worst pick.
Okay, well, you gotta say something.
Let's just take let's take Parkinson. I'm fine with that.
Oof,
we're clearly voting out Rams.
Yes.
I'd rather have Parkinson than these guys.
Okay, so how many more picks do we have? We have 1, 2, 3 more picks. We have 4 Rams, but no running backs. I don't like this already. This is bad.
We'll definitely take Higbee out. Like, we don't need Higbee.
Hear me out. Do we go? This team just needs some more firepower. Like,
yeah.
There could be games where both these two go off. But yikes. This is bad. Do we do like a Juwan Jennings and hope he makes the Final Four?
Can you just scroll down slightly beyond? Yeah.
Because the Rams versus Chicago is hard because they're the scroll down option.
Yeah, do Jennings. I'm okay with that.
And just hope that they're in the Final Four.
Yeah.
I think we need. Is there any more Patriots in Denver that's viable? Ingram is already there. Just Mims. Any other running backs that are viable that makes sense?
Woody Marks and just. I understand, but if it helps us advance this first round.
Well, we're down to our last 2 picks. Should we just take Ingram here and just say it's a Broncos? Because there's no other Patriots, is there?
Not really. Demario Douglas.
Kyle Williams.
I mean,
what do you want to do? I say.
I think we should take Woody Marks. I really do.
Well, we could take him at the last pick. I mean,
I don't think he'll be there, but okay.
Steve, this team sucks. I mean, I love the Rams stack, but okay, so we essentially have 4 Rams, 2 Denver, 2 New England. If Rams 49ers meet in the NFC Championship, that's not horrible. But best case scenario, you're having 6 for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Do you want to add just another Denver, New England here?
No. Like, I mean, who?
Because then you have a potential better Super Bowl. And it is Steve, it is a viable. Kyle Williams could catch a bomb in the Super Bowl. You're acting like that can't happen. You're acting like it also looks like you're right. It was Marks to advance.
100%.
Well, do you want to take Nick Chubb and get really crazy then?
Not really, but
This is stupid. And
We should take Nick Chubb. That gives us a third out.
he's not going to make the finals. I'm doing Kyle Williams. This is on my account. You watch. If this thing makes it to the Super Bowl and Kyle Williams catches a bomb, you are going to be like, thank you, Megan, for the $50,000.
Oh, boy.
That didn't go well. That didn't go well.
No, it did not.
It's just like you might as well take Dobbins.
Yes.
There's some good chat. Let me catch up. To answer this question, because UNC asked when was the lineup, we said early June. It has been like every month. It has been, I don't know May, but it's been June, it's been July, it's been late August, it's been, I think, early August. So of the 6 winners, I can't remember when Justin Herzig drafted his, or Liam.
July.
His was July. I know for a fact that Crane's was July. I know for the fact that BBM4 winner was late August. Last year's was June too, wasn't it? The 49ers. Because remember Pearsall was like so early.
I can't remember that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was before. It was like, I think late June. This was early June. So it's been, I don't believe there's been a May to my knowledge, but there's been early June, late June, multiple July, and late August. So anytime, every time it's open. Yeah. Oh, he maybe he should have taken Stafford for the bit because we fell off the wagon. I love this comment from Mike. Meg and Steve advanced like 40% stream dash. Meg says she hates the draft at 82.23% of them. That's not wrong. I do. I'm always like, I hate this. I absolutely hate this. And then the ones I love, like, always go off the rails. Though our BBM team this year was strong. It just went out in the quarterfinals. Yeah, and Losimo agreed with you that Marks was right to advance. But I'm saying there's no chance that Marks makes out this week, and this week is the earliest week to advance. Don't you think? Don't you agree with me there?
It's the easiest week to advance is what I think you were trying to say, but
yeah. So why are we taking Marks to advance? Why are we taking Marks to advance this week? I don't think the strategy is to try to only have 5 or 6 players for Super Bowl. I think it's try to have in this format because in the main, it's going to be much harder to get a full Super Bowl roster or even, Super Bowl rosters. In this format, it's going to be easier to get Super Bowl rosters, especially with a lot of teams doing like 4-4 and 5-5 and all that kind of stuff. I just think even if it's like a Kyle Williams, it's more important to have a potential full Super Bowl roster.
But we already had a full Super Bowl roster.
No, we didn't. We had a max. Okay, let me go through our team. Williams. And then we are going to go through Losimo and
and apparently the other guy was in here also. He said,
Oh, Mr. Pittsburgh 21. Thank you so much for joining us. That's awesome that you came into chat. I was right to the right of you, and I don't know what on earth I was doing. Okay, maybe Dobbins is coming back. Who says he likes him in this format. Would you mind critiquing my team? Tried doing 3-3-2-2 idea, but I think I could have done it better. Yes, let's critique all 4 of our teams. Okay, so we went 1-2-7. We talked about liking 2 quarterbacks. We just couldn't put it together because we were stacking up Denver and New England outside of running back the Rams. And obviously those quarterbacks went. So we go Stafford, we go 1-2-7, Stafford, Ramondre, Harvey, and then Puka, Devontae Adams, Steph Diggs, Colby Parkinson, Juwan Jennings, Evan Ingram, Kyle Williams. So we have the 4 Rams. And then we have 1, 2, 3 New England. So then we have a potential 7-man. I'm saying you don't just want to fill out the roster with 5 players. I know you understand that. I'm saying I was trying to build out more of a Super Bowl roster to if it was Rams Patriots, which is one combo that I think could be likely. And then we have, if it was Rams Denver, we have 6 with Harvey and Ingram as the bringbacks. And we did 1 Juwan Jennings if the final 4, includes Rams and 49ers. I don't love it. I don't know where we should have pivoted differently. Where would you?
I think the first thing is, even though we still got him, I think we should have taken Ramondre where we took Diggs, because it's easier to get receiving Patriot options, and gotten another running back. And even if we had taken like
Well, I'm sure Coolers thought that too, because I was like, oh, that was kind of ass of us to take whatever. But yeah, if he would have gotten Diggs and we could have still taken like Ramondre, but then who would you have gotten? You
Well, we
would have
could have taken Corm there. I mean, I probably would have pushed for Harvey anyways, but I don't know. Like it just, and this is why I do think we should have taken Marks is yes, I think it's a very likely the Patriots beat them, but it's also a chance that they don't, like we should take that into account. And Marks, because the market is already pricing it that way, you're getting a starting running back. You're getting a starting running back in the 9th round where, like the other options are the Ray Davises, the Brian Robinson Jr. Like they're just not like the legitimate players.
But I'm saying it's the easiest to bounce this. I don't know why I said it.
It's not about this week, Meg. It is a little bit. But it's also in like I don't care what you look at it. Even if you highly think the Patriots advance, we're only talking like 80-20. It's not 99%. Like people thought that Rams.
Did you watch CJ Stroud? I think it's 99%.
But did you watch the Patriots? For their offense struggle against the Chargers? The Texans are a better defense than the Chargers. Like the the Rams were a massive favorite against the Panthers and barely won that game.
I know. No, you're right. You're right.
Like the Panthers, people would have given the Panthers less than a 10% chance to win that game, and they almost had the win. And so had they won that game, that's what you're playing here. And it's just the value of the player that you're getting. I'm not a big Woody Marks fan, you know that, but
no,
our running back is the weakest position.
Yeah.
Where if we get to a Super Bowl, I think all three of those Rams are going to count above Demario Douglas. You know what I mean? Like, or Kyle Williams. Like,
but you don't know. But in the Super Bowl, you don't know. You don't know. But I'm saying, like we've seen, as time after time in Super Bowls, there is like a dust bucket.
But they have to. Like Kyle Williams has to beat out Puka. Let's say it's Rams Patriots. He'd have to beat out Puka, Adams, Diggs, and Parkinson to make the flex.
I understand, but look at the dud Diggs did the other day. Like, what if Diggs has a dud in the Super Bowl and Kyle? I mean, come on, the variance of. I mean, we just saw DeMarcus Robinson have a massive game in the wild card week. Like, crazy shit happens. Like, bottom line is we both didn't like this draft. Let's review the other teams and let's go the draft of streets. Bottom line is there's multiple ways you can build this. This wasn't my favorite build. I definitely would prefer 2-3-5 or 2-6 or whatever. And I definitely would probably rotate through the teams better. I don't know. I think our biggest mistake was not getting the Rams running back. And then it just felt weird. And like you said, where we took Diggs was probably the mistake. And it just kind of unwound from there. So I think we agree on that. We don't agree on everything. That's why Sibling Showdown, this makes it fun. But we do love each other and we have a Guantlet team, and maybe this Guantlet return team makes it. Let's look at the other teams though. And then I can tell you, yep, he's got Drake May. He's going. No, I'm just kidding. We got Coolers at the one spot. He said he was going through. How did he say he did? Excuse me. 3-3-2-2 idea. Okay, so we talked through that. I'm gonna leave this up. Let's talk it through. So 2-2-6. He goes May, Darnold, Travion Henderson, Charbonnet. So this is very similar to our build that we did with Patriots, 49ers, JSN, Troy Franklin, Luther Burden, Butte, Roma Dunze, Pat Bryant. So he's got obviously 3 Patriots and 3 Seattle. And then he has 2 of Denver and Chicago. So the only thing I don't like about this is for the Super Bowl, you're guaranteed to only have 6. But I definitely like this pushing you through to the Super Bowl. And if you have the right 6 for the Super Bowl, especially if it is a, Seattle, New England Super Bowl. So again, it's kind of like anything. Like if you do all the different strategies, right? And there's pros and cons in my opinion to all of them. But like the pro to this is think this gives you a stronger chance for optionality to make the Super Bowl. And again, if it is a New England Seattle Super Bowl, I like that because then you have 2 running back options, two quarterback options, right? It's just, I guess ideally having a little more, but so you prove that this is a viable strategy. The con is you are guaranteed best case scenario to only, you're guaranteed, but you have 4 combo options, but you're guaranteed to max 6. But if it's the right 6, it does, that's all that matters. So thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, no, I'm more of a fan, obviously, of this strategy, as I mentioned before.
Yeah.
My one concern with it is you're relying on 2 backs who might not be the lead backs on the team. So I think it could get thin, weak, most like if these 2 teams end up in the Super Bowl, then fantastic, because you have 2 viable Super Bowl running backs. But I think this next week, if it gets through, even if you're right on these 4 teams and you have a full roster next week, you'd still need to rely on both Kenneth Walker and Stevenson failing, as well as the other backs, which in this case, Chicago and Denver, so it's a little thinner.
I think with the 4 teams, it could, especially we've seen Charbonnet outscore Kenneth Walker and that kind of stuff. But I see what you're saying. Yeah. But I like it. It's proving to me it's viable, and I see pros and cons to each. So I like.
The good news is, in this scenario, I think it works really well if it is these 4 teams advance. If it's if Kyron's there, or obviously you chose Denver for one side, but if it was like Bills, like you have CMC, James Cook, or Kyron, those are like arguably.
Kyron was gone, obviously.
Oh, he wasn't playing Rams. Like, I get that, but I'm saying.
Okay, sorry, I get what you're saying.
If any of those 3 running backs are alive, it's going to be harder for your 2 running backs to be good enough.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I like when I was mean about our team. He was like, Meg, when you critique mine, can be nicer than this. I like Mike's comments. Just smile through it and wave, Steve. Yeah, and I love Mike's comment. You have our baby boy Drake May. You're in the clear coolers. That's absolutely hysterical. And yes, Patriots, I'm acting like it's impossible for Texans to win. It is just a 3-point spread.
Yeah.
Best Ball Saul says 30-year Pats fan drafting 0 Douglas and Williams. I need to read about if Hollins is coming back. And I mean, Texans defense is absolutely legit. Mike said he loved that draft. I'm not sure if he meant mine or Coolers or Losimo. Now this is a sibling showdown. Just jump back in, realizing you guys are still going impressive. Yeah, when we get in the best ball streets, we're total sickos, and we call it sibling showdown because we draft together, but we sometimes fight it out. I don't know if I don't even know if I've ever done a 5-5 build, just two teams, because then it feels thin to get to the Super Bowl. But like if you get to the Super Bowl, it feels, because then it's like you are going to have to absolutely. Those teams are going to have to go, ham both this round and next round. And we just know how that goes. We got Sia dropping a prop in here. I'm assuming this week he says go under on Diggs yards. I should have gone under last week. Whoa, did Diggs disappoint me in DFS? Big time. But obviously love Sia dropping the props in, and I love to see you in here, Sia. With our best ball sickos. So let's look at Losimo's team and then get over to the drafter streets and wind it up, Steve, or finish it up. So that was Cooler's team. Losimo went, at the 3 spot, 1, 4, 5. So building a Josh Allen stack. Allen, Kyron, Kenneth Walker, Corum, what he did with marks after I threw a fit. Shakir, Kincaid, Brandon Cooks, Shaheed, Cooper Kupp. So he's definitely building a Buffalo, Seattle stack, ideally, but it could still be live with the other.
I mean, he's the only non-Seattle. I'm sorry. He is Rams, Seattle with Bills, and then just Houston on that side. So no, it's an interesting build.
Yeah. So basically, he's hoping Houston makes it. Ideally, you want as many Final Four teams as possible. So he's got the one. He basically, I think this is smart though, because he didn't get Cooks, and like to your point, the other Bills running backs really aren't viable.
Especially if Ty Johnson can come back. It's right. It really bastardizes it.
Yeah. So he gets the 4 Bills with the 3 receivers. And so then it's like, well, it's got to be Bills, Seattle, or Bills, Rams, which, that's obviously makes sense. And so he's covering the running back position there. So I like his strategy of how he did that when he goes Allen and doesn't get Cooks, as opposed to taking like a Ray Davis or Ty John. So I think that makes a ton of sense. I think that was well played, and well done. I think we totally covered Underdog in every way possible. I definitely need to jump off soon. So why don't we do one drafters draft, Steve, on you said you want to pull over drafters?
Yeah.
So Mike says too hard to do 5 nowadays as the lobbies are totally lawless. There's that too. And speaking of like the 5-5 stuff, I definitely think here on drafters with cumulative scoring that I would probably do less of that, because you don't need like the dust balls, right? It's cumulative.
We should ask chat, do you want to do a mini or the $20 or the mini $5? Because we can tell $5 closer to filling.
Okay. So
if anyone in chat wants to shout out if they want to join us in drafters.
So we're just going to do one of these. It's cumulative. I believe they said 10 round. Mike says mini.
All right. I will enter the mini.
Is there room for Mike?
Yep.
2 more to join. Perfect. So yeah, the differences on drafters, full point PPR, 6 roster spots, quarterback, running back, 2 receivers, tight end as a separate position, 1 flex. And in the main one, or for the, before the wild card locked, it was 12 draft slots. As someone said earlier in chat, it's only 10. So I think
the other thing, we are in a 6-man draft. So while there's no pods, 60 players will get drafted.
It'll get thinner.
Yeah.
So it'll get thin. So you will still end up drafting some dusty players, obviously, right? But I don't know. What differences structurally would you make?
Well, the other thing is, one-off, like getting guys, like if we feel, say Rams Bears are going to go off, take some players from the other side, because if Loveland does what he does in a losing effort, you're going to need that. Now you'll still need a tight end going forward. But let's say DJ Moore has a big game, but the Bears lose, and you would rather be drafting Rams. You still might need that DJ Moore. Let's say he's a 25-point game. That could be wide receiver 2 in the week, and you just have a huge advantage of, you still want to have enough guys to fill out a Super Bowl, but that 25-point game is going to matter a hell of a lot more than some dusty 6th player in the Super Bowl getting 2 points. You know what I mean?
Sorry, as I'm mute. Yes, that's what I agree. That's where the difference is. Would you still do 2 quarterbacks here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we go McCaffrey here.
So you don't want to go May to get the quarterback? I'm fine with McCaffrey. I love McCaffrey. Yeah, he, especially in cumulative scoring, yeah, absolutely.
Because ideally, but let's say McCaffrey gets us 2 weeks but doesn't go to the Super Bowl. That matters so much more here, because he could have 2 30-point games.
Yeah.
Particularly 4-point PPR. And, those 60 points, just no running back combo is coming close to touching.
Yeah, and the nice thing here, we're in with Mike. It's not like only one of us moves on. This is cumulative scoring, So what do you want to go here? Because there's a lot of, NFC at the top.
Do we go James Cook? And
again, I think that's one of our common, Okay, so we got to think through quarterbacks here, though. Could you click the quarterback tab?
I think Purdy is our ideal.
Yeah.
I mean, Nix, if he comes back, because that's right around his ADP, Nix would be there, then Purdy there. Purdy already went. Never mind. Purdy got pulled up. Wow.
Shit. Yeah, because it's already, so you're already lost. Oh, God.
Well, we could get boxed out.
All right. I think we need to build like McCaffrey or Bears. Help me, because you can get that later, because we've lost Bills, Patriots,
well,
49ers.
Nix is here, we're taking Nix. There's just no question at that point.
Why?
Well, yeah, I guess Caleb. We take Caleb. We cannot afford one of them to
Wait,
double up quarterback.
right. That's my point is I think Ram or Bears are much we say McCaffrey and Bears meet in the NFC Championship,
Yeah.
Bears win, but we have McCaffrey for 2 weeks, basically. It's the story we're telling. Bills is one of the run backs, but we got to focus on, I don't know if you want to stack them up, queue them up or whatever.
So we're probably only going to do one quarterback. Yeah, I forgot the six. The
yeah,
six
with the
people
six man, it's going to be very hard to do 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, get Loveland, queue up Loveland because we got to get him like now. Like his ADP is 26. I say we take him here because then with having to fill that tight end spot is so much harder. That's the hard part about drafters is like you have to fill kind of quarterback, running back. So I almost think at 21 and 28, we get, is Swift gone yet? We get Swift and Loveland and Swift. Because we could get Monongai, but I don't know.
Yeah, Swift is the higher ADP, but I still think we take Loveland.
We know we need Loveland for sure. Okay. So did you queue the other Bears?
No. I don't believe
you don't use the star method?
Not at all.
Your brain works so much faster than mine. It's not because I'm older. It's just because you're smarter than me. But all right. We got to start thinking about receivers here. I mean, we have Bears luckily lets us build out later receivers that are still viable,
Yeah.
But what other run backs? Obviously, because Bills receivers are so dusty. So what other and if I say we just do Bears, McCaffrey, and then, maybe another Bills receiver too. Because, okay, so if we're doing 4, no, we'd have to do quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end at the minimum. We may even do 5 Bears, McCaffrey, and 2 and 2 or something like that. Is that crazy?
Yeah, Swift is still there.
Yeah, I say we take Swift. I know we're getting
receivers going to get thin, but it's the idea to dominate.
We just say we have McCaffrey and Cook and we only need Swift for whatever, and we get, where does Monongai go?
He goes way late.
Okay, so who is the top of the receiver before you pick?
Nico Shaheed.
Ooh, it's gotten bad already.
But there's the Bears receivers. We can get.
I know, but should we get at least one AFC run back, like a Troy Franklin or something like that?
I feel like Franklin Mims. I'd rather do Swift here.
Okay. Our receiver points are going to be terrible.
I understand that. I think we only take receiver. I think Loveland's the only tight end. Caleb's the only. So
we're done at running back. It's all receivers.
5 receivers.
I say we do. How many picks do we have left? 5?
Yeah. I
say we do 2 Bills receivers or Bears, sorry, so that we have literally a 6-person Bears stack, 6-man Bears stack, and then I don't know, try to have some upside, like a Brandon Cooks,
Well, unfortunately, we probably need to take. Do we take Brandon Cooks here just because there's more Bears outs?
What's his ADP?
36.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think
that's the way we go because Adunze is. It's like we're guaranteed a Bears receiver will be coming back to us.
Yeah, ideally we'd take 2 the next time we come around, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think the Bears receivers
amazing.
What's that?
If we can get 2 of these Bears receivers, that's amazing.
Yeah, and then what do you do? Then I guess you're just looking for an AFC receiver that's not terrible.
Yeah.
Really high bar. Yeah, I mean, our running back points should be super strong.
Yeah, running backs and flex are hopefully coming from these 3 players.
Yeah.
So it's thinner. I mean, we're taking 4 more receivers, and if we can get 2 of them being Bears, I think that's great. I think, this is where I know you don't like it, but this is where a Jaden Higgins or a Christian Kirk, just raw points are going to matter so much.
Yeah.
So Burden or more.
I'll let you choose. More probably, but whatever.
Yeah, let's go more. And then.
So if Burden comes back, you're going to take him, right?
Burden or Dunze, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get on the cumulative format more the case for a Texans player, And
Yeah.
especially with, if we say Nico's out and if Jaden Higgins is still there, I can make more of a case for it here. You're kind of, making your Super Bowl or even Final Four, in my opinion, roster weaker, but with how long we waited at receiver because we wanted to build out the Bears stack and because we got such good running backs, I think that's what just has to be done.
Yeah.
Oh, hear the dog barking. I'm going to need to go.
So Burner or Dunze, you choose.
Oof. I lean like a
Burden.
Dunze will evolve, but Burden, I feel like, I don't know. I lean.
Especially in full point PPR, he could just rack up catches.
Yeah, let's do Burden.
So we actually have a full Bears stack.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. All right, let's queue up AFC receivers. I mean,
well, again, Rob point, like if Cooper Kupp is there, we can take him.
Can you scroll down? I actually get the case for like a Jaden Higgins this week.
Yeah.
Or Christian Kirk, because,
Kirk is already gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Higgins might be gone also. Yeah, Higgins just went.
Okay, so it's just Hutchinson and no, never mind. So we have 2 more spots left, right?
Yep.
So what would you do?
I think 2 receivers.
Well, no, definitely 2 receivers, but who?
I mean, I wouldn't do a Dunze even if he's there, as tempting as it is.
Yeah.
I think Cooper Kupp. I think Marvin Mims probably. Then Demario Douglas.
Yeah. So basically, if it was Chicago Bills, we'd have 2 run backs. If it was Chicago Broncos, just 1, and then we're just adding value with this. I mean, are we really adding that much value? Okay, Kupp goes. That's some. Do you want to just keep adding the Bills and do Coleman with Shaver?
I think we should take Mims first.
Okay, that's fine.
Just because we don't have any Denver.
So you'd rather do?
I think it's Coleman, or I don't love Demario Douglas, but that would be...
I'd have to. Yeah, I mean, why do you think Kyle Williams couldn't? Didn't he run more routes than Douglas? But Douglas could get, like, I don't know, for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're great. I honestly think we could make a case that DeMarcus Robinson is a better play.
We don't. I mean, if Ricky Pearsall plays this week, I don't think that's the case. I don't know. My gut tells me one of the Patriots, but
I can't believe Rome might still be there.
Or do we just? I don't know. Or do we just do that? And we're covered for every combo and just say, hope the Bears, like, their defense sucks and they have to, like, win to go off or something, or they have to score every single week. And we hope it's like Bills Patriots that they, well, the Patriots is defense.
I mean, so Demario Douglas, what do you want to do? Odunze, Keon Coleman, or Kyle Williams?
I kind of want to do Rome.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You're basically, the story we're telling is either Bears.
Caleb is just the guy.
What?
Caleb is just the guy, and we have whatever out that it takes,
Yeah. And like, if it's Bears 49ers in the NFC Championship and McCaffrey has 2 like 30-point weeks, that doesn't suck, and then if it's Bears Bills, you have the most optimal with 2 ringbacks, but you're just saying every single for the next 3 weeks, the Bears just put up like 30.
Yeah.
And you're covered, whoever is stacked with whatever. So I feel better than that, than like you said, going dust ball.
Yeah. And what I will say to this is,
I agree. 6 people sucks. Now I know why the 4-man, they have to do only 10 rounds, and the 4-man is definitely more fun because your teams don't feel so thin.
So, I mean, obviously, if Chicago makes a Super Bowl, we have a Super Bowl team. But it's also
Super Bowl team, yeah.
But like you said, if McCaffrey, if they can win this week and knock off Seattle, I I think the Bears' best chance to the Super Bowl is playing 49ers in the championship week. So there's actually a theory there.
Yeah, it's a good story. Yeah.
But the other thing is like the double dominating. And then if it's Bills Super Bowl and we have James Cook, or James Cook just goes off these next couple games, it could be very interesting. And Brandon Cooks also, very thin on the AFC side. No New England. But they have the toughest matchup this week. I mean, that game could be very few points. So
especially in the cumulative format, New England isn't as enticing, and it's because of just a very tough matchup in one of the 3 games, even if they make the Super Bowl. So yeah.
And I actually think the Bears-Rams game
by far has to be the highest total projected this week, right?
Yeah. So I looked at them earlier, but I can't remember how much higher it is. But I think that has the chance to just be a total shootout. Yeah. And to that point, like Rams just go so early, so you can't really do this. But like, had we started with, instead of McCaffrey, like a Puka, I would still consider building out the Bears. Just it's thinner that way. But Puka has a 40-point game, but the Bears win. You want Puka. It's just the way that cumulative scoring works.
Yeah. What did we do to Mike? So Cooler says he likes the best part of drafters is chat box. I chat people as I snipe them. Say goodbye to your quarterback.
We should have chatted.
Yeah, we did. That was rude to make me do that. What did we make Mike do? After the draft, they said it'll be fun. They said. Did we snipe?
I think he's talking the 6-person drafts. Drake.
Yeah.
Drake May, Kyron Williams, Steph Diggs, Hunter Henry, Troy Franklin, Bo Nix, Dalton Schultz, Butte, Tutu Atwell, Demario Douglas. So he's got a full Patriots side.
Yeah.
But needs Rams. He has one running back, and it's Kyron.
Oh, okay, gotcha. No, so to everybody's point, I love they said enter the draft. They said it'll be fun. They said 60 players is really tough. No, the summary is that this is very hard, and I agree with you guys. We're sorry we made you do that, Mike, but thank you for joining us.
They probably should have done these as 5-person drafts, because in cumulative you could do whatever number you want.
Right? Doesn't matter the pod size. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. A little suggestion for drafters for next year, but we're sorry we put you through that, Mike. We love you, and we're sorry we put you through that. But again, we covered it all. We covered basically, covering wildcard weekend, what the drafts we have that are live. We covered our projections moving forward for the next 3 rounds, essentially. We covered, we covered underdog strategy, multiple 2 mittens returns and a gauntlet returns. Lots of sibling showdown fighting, which I think, really delivered. Drafter strategy, 1 drafters. So we covered it all. Good luck in your best ball playoff returns. We have the rest of the week here to get them in before the Saturday lock. We appreciate everybody watching, everybody hitting that like button, everybody subscribing. Again, link in the chat if you want to check out our Substack. Get in the Discord with us. I think that covers it. We have a busy week. Say some prayers. Our dad, Willie Pop's having surgery this week, so hopefully all goes well with that. So we have a busy week. We hope we can be back Friday, but stay tuned for that. Justin and Andrew will be back tomorrow, drafting Underdog Dailies. So join them tomorrow night. And I think that covers all the stuff. Hopefully we'll be back Friday talking props, but everything else, if we, will be covered in Substack, in Discord, DFS, underdog rankings, DFS, NFL bets, everything will be covered in Substack and Discord, but definitely show tomorrow night and hopefully 1 or multiple shows on Friday. Final thoughts for the people, Steve.
Yeah. Good luck to everyone. And, hope we all get some teams through and have some fun sweats for next week and going forward.
Absolutely. All right. So this has been fun. Again, good luck this week. We'll see you later in the week. For Steve, I'm Meg, and we'll see you next time.
Fanspeak, where the plan runs deep. The team grind hard, don't eat, don't sleep. From best ball dreams to DFS streaks, they help you print money every single week. No cap, no gimmicks, we breaking limits. NFL bets, yeah, we live this business. Meg and Steve, that OG vision. Draft room killers on a lifelong mission. More stress to the Sunday spread. Fan speaks that voice that's inside your head. Best ball DFS, NFL bets. They built it brick by brick, no regrets.